What's up, everybody? Welcome back to your favorite wrestling podcast. It is the Monday Night Wave, baby. We back. Another episode of this great graps that we have for you. Another week where we talk about the week of wrestling, and actually a week of wrestling, and plus Double or Nothing. But it's episode 72, people. Welcome. I go by Jay, aka the Lonely One, aka Pod Man Page, Jacob Pod 2, Pod Will Jacob Freeman, because I pod better than you, and you know it. And actually, 3 times Misrespect the Jumper, because guess what? The Pacers are now in the goddamn NBA Finals since I made that comment. That's right. 3 times. All right. But you know what time it is. I wouldn't be nothing without. Well, actually, we have a special guest, people. Mr. A Private Eye, if you don't say Private Eye. Private Eye Lars, would you please come over and give us your some info, your insight?
Yeah, see? Thank you, gentlemen. The name is Jazz, Lars Jazz. Private Eye. Now, DT hired me to find the whereabouts of your friend. Now, I got some intel on him. But this is all I got. If you want any more, you're going to have to pay me double. Otherwise, you get nothing. You see what I did there? I made a funny. You got a ha-ha when I make a funny, Jay. You got a ha-ha when I make a funny. So this is what we do. This is what we're gonna do. This is what I discovered. He seems to be somewhat of a wild card. You can never really tell what he's gonna do or what he's gonna say. Some people might call that a liability. Others, a detriment. That was supposed to be a funny. You didn't ha-ha when I made a funny. You got a ha-ha when I make a funny. Work with me here. People in the North Hemisphere, they call him the King of Gorgeous. Me, personally, I don't really see it. That's not a ha-ha. Me, personally, I don't really see it. But who am I? I'm just a lonely private eye with a hemorrhoid the size of a grapefruit. I haven't had a date since the Obama administration. The Southern Hemisphere, they call him Mr. Sexy-Ass Lottery. That's also something I don't understand, because last time I checked, he doesn't like to gamble. But here's what I do know, Jay. His name is 4 letters, 1 word. Nya, nya. His name is Hero. And I am he. And I'm glad to be back. So, quick story. And shout out to DT, who's not here, who hired the private eye. So last week, I was in witness protection. So what had happened is that I saw 69 and 70 get into a fight, and 70 won. So then 69 threatened me and 72, and which that also happens to be the episode that we're on.
I hate this nigga, bro.
You see what I did there?
Good. That was
funny.
That was good.
You didn't ha. Okay.
Oh, great. Welcome everybody. Welcome to the episode. Shout out to everybody who's tuning in from, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, wherever you listen to this from. Thank y'all. We appreciate all y'all. But let's get into this wrestle talk. This graps, these raps. First on the docket, not a lot of news today, which is cool.
No,
we've seen some call-ups recently. Stephanie Vaquer is expected to head to Raw. Jordan Grace is also expected to head to SmackDown. Some NXT call-ups that are happening pretty fast. And I remember when they had got signed that, or more so in particular with Jordan Grace, that she wasn't going to be in NXT for long. Like, we knew that she was already polished and whatnot. She's ready to go. Stephanie, on the other hand, I was a little bit surprised. Just because she's a huge draw in NXT right now, and she was their women's champion until this week. Shout out to JC Jane. That one I didn't see coming, but also with the 2 matches she had on Raw and how good she looked, it was probably it was a no-brainer, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna ask you how you feel about it, but then also the question of who fills that void of losing these women in NXT.
Okay. I feel that it definitely came to a surprise, but also not a surprise at the same time. Because, like you said, like she had a good showing. Jordan Grace didn't need to be there that long anyway. Kind of shocked that she's not going to get like a semi-small title run, but
Mhm.
yeah. So that part's kind of shocking. But other than that, yeah, no, I'm not really shocked by them deciding to call them up because I think with Stephanie, Jordan Grace, and Julia, I think the whole plan was not to keep them there that long in the
Mhm.
first place. Like with two of them, I think they just wanted to make sure they got acclimated to the system and practice on their English a little bit. But otherwise, we knew that both Stephanie and Julia were obviously really good in the ring. And with Jordan Grace, she's already polished. She's already worked a couple like Royal Rumbles and stuff. So she's familiar with the American style system and whatnot anyway. So
Right.
not really surprised. Someone else who lost during that during that pay-per-view or PLE was also Ricky Starks, which there was some rumors that he
True.
might also be called up as well.
True.
And seeing I don't think Javon is going to, but he was on SmackDown, which this last episode of SmackDown, which I believe is just to help set up Worlds Collide. Also, Ethan Page
Mhm.
was on this week's SmackDown, but
Yep.
we talked about it. Ethan Page is someone who's more than likely going to come up relatively soon as well.
He
So
looked really good. He looked like he belonged on SmackDown this week. I
yeah,
was like,
they
"Oh,
both
this
did
might be what."
honestly.
Yeah.
Like, and Javon's only
Well,
21, but like, you mean as far as like the star power and the presentation?
yeah,
Yeah.
presentation. Like, of course, Javon's gonna be there. Like, we already know that. Like, he's a no brainer. But like, while I was looking at Ethan Page, I was like, "Oh, he fits. Like, he has like the arrogance. He's in the suits. He's wearing the belt properly. Like, he has like just the star power that SmackDown could definitely use. I wouldn't be surprised if Ethan Page ends up coming up too."
Word. And then so the second part is who fills the void, and I think there's two answers for that. One is that there's already like we talked about it before. I think all three of us have talked about it multiple times at nauseum at this point, but NXT women's division, the women's division in particular, it was stacked before those three women even showed up for the most part. Um, and when they showed up, it was still stacked. Like we still got Loa Vice, who's not fully cooking. We still
Mm-hmm.
got Jada Parker,
So Ruka,
Sol Ruka, the Kalani. They also had a good match over the weekend.
yep,
Zarya,
yep,
who's
yep.
mostly been doing tag stuff, but like
Mm-hmm.
so when she gets her like actual solo, so and that's on top of women that we haven't even seen yet. The woman who won Evolve, the Olympic, not Evolve, but LFG. I don't think she was on the show yet, and because the winners of LFG, they got NXT contracts. She's a former Olympian. There's other women just in the tuck, just in the PC that they signed from NILs or whatever that we just have not seen yet. So I think it's pretty easy to fill the void, at least in the women's division, just because of again how stacked that is. And then the other answer to that is the next topic that we would talk about. I think that person is kind of one of the reasons why they was like, all right, let's call a couple of these gals up so we can
Yeah.
make room for the glamour.
The glamour. Yeah, it was announced this week that Mariah May was removed from the AEW page, which means that they're typically going to like a different locate or different company. Mariah May seems to be headed towards WWE, which is to no surprise. I don't think anybody could truly be surprised if she didn't resign with AEW, and we found out that she didn't resign somewhere around the second match that she had with Toni. Yeah, I have nothing but high praise for Mariah May going to WWE because she's going to fit in perfectly, right? Like you have the look, you can talk, you have just, and I hate saying it because like I hate like that's a premier focus, but like the sex appeal that they look
Mm,
for and whatnot, like you have it all. Um, and I think that the Mariah May era of NXT would be fucking crazy. I think that's something that you could really kind of ride out for a little bit. Um,
Yeah, that's someone you can make the face of your division.
for sure,
On
for
top of
sure.
again like Azaria, Jada Parker, and some others. Yeah, no, I don't. It similar to like how what you guys were talking about Willow. Like to me, this wasn't a shocker. Honestly,
Hmm.
if she would have stayed, it would have been fine. I think. I mean, we know because her old tweets have been resurfacing for months or whatever.
I saw that.
Yeah, it's been resurfacing for months. So it's like
it's
we
been her dream
know,
for a long time.
yeah, we know it's her dream, and it like for whatever reason that makes a lot of people upset, but it kind of is what it is. Like WWE, whether you think it's real wrestling or not, it's the dream of a lot of wrestlers. A lot of wrestlers grew up watching this shit. That's where they want to be. They want their Mania moment. They want to do all this stuff. So if that's her dream job, then that's her dream job, and it seems like she got it. She had a time in Stardom, got TV exposure on a national scale, got the attention of the opposition, and she decided to acquire her. They decided to acquire her, and she decided to leave, and she was booked well. I don't like her title reign per se, but as a whole, like she was a huge factor.
Yeah.
And I think I don't want to say she's going to be missed per se, but as far as like when we talk about like presentation and like who like comes off the screen, there's only a handful of women on the AEW side that like really just like how everyone's like super hyped, or everyone's still hyped on Megan Bayne, but there's only like some of like just a few women that are like really like you gravitize towards like when they're on screen. It's like
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, and Mariah May is one of them, but yeah, no, I think it's cool, and I'm very pro NXT. I'm sure there's going to be other people who are like, you don't send her to developmental after the reign she had, blah blah blah. I'm pro NXT because, like you said, she can't talk. She does have the look. We know she can wrestle. To me, it's all about her character work. To me, that was her biggest flaw, because like her whole time there, she was attached to Toni. Like her first half a year, she was literally just playing Toni. And then like we get the heel turn, and then she was just like a blonde mean girl sorta. And it's like we got a bunch of blonde mean girls. Like we got Charlotte over here. Like she needs. I don't know. She just kind of needs to work on a character, finding who she is. I feel like because I don't know how much of that was. I don't know how much of herself was really in that heel character during her title reign or whatnot, but we don't need another blonde mean girl, because like they can hit up Tiffany Stratton anytime they want. We got Charlotte, whatever.
That can be quite the transition, because now that you mention it, it's like you're coming from like Stardom into AEW, going to WWE, and because Stardom, New Japan, AEW don't really care for character too much, you never really had to think about having a character, right? You never really had to think about having like a gimmick or something to like sell every week. It would help, hashtag, Toni Storm, the CEO has like a gimmick that she's playing and whatnot of whoever, but like just having like that kind of character is going to be a challenge, because some people don't have the imagination for it, like some people don't have like the brain power to create like, this is who I want to be. Not everybody's Bray Wyatt, you know what I'm saying? Like not everybody's going to sit there and create like something out of this world. And to be honest, in WWE, you don't really need to have 100% Bray Wyatt, but you do need a little bit of it. You need something to carry yourself over.
Yeah, and a huge part of that is just finding attributes about your own self that you could add to your character. I feel like
correct.
Like when Roman became the tribal chief, that was one of the things. Is like besides him, like he's typically shy or maybe like a little introverted, but he's like the way he's presenting the character, the way he's talking, and all the stuff like that's kind of like really him. And same with like Seth said similar things, and like there's Lyra just in her Chris Van Vliet interview, she said something similar. It was like, I'm finally starting to understand. It was like you have to add some of yourself to the character to make it come off realistic and to make you be able to like sink your teeth into it. Because if you're just reading a script of some character you're playing, some I don't know, you're an Amazon driver and you don't really believe in it, like you're not filling the role, then it's not going to hit. It's not going to translate that well.
Yeah, so shout out to Mariah May. Ain't gonna change nothing over here. I'm just gonna switch the channels. Not even switch the channels. I'm gonna be watching the shit, so it don't fucking matter. And I'm gonna also reinforce what you said, to where you're like, these are the choices that these people make. This is where they want to go. This is not like this isn't like, oh, you're a traitor because you. It's like, no, bro. Like these are individuals who are looking at another job and going to go do that over there. That's it.
Yeah,
like it's okay, bro. Like,
and it works. It works both ways. It works always. Like
always.
Ricochet left. And, he's having a blast doing what he's doing. Even if we don't like it or whoever doesn't like it, Like these are
They're
these people's
happy.
lives.
Like,
Fuck,
so, bro. Like, let
yeah.
them be happy, yo. Before we get into Double or Nothing, would you do a quick little recap, or not recap, but just some spots that I've noticed this week in wrestling or in SmackDown and Raw? Seth Rollins is entering the Money in the Bank. Initial thoughts was, why the fuck is Seth entering Money in the Bank? He don't really need to be in the match. But I think that they did a qualifying match, and I think it was CM Punk, AJ, and
Grande Americano.
Grande, to where Punk. My initial guess would be Punk will be in Money in the Bank too, which is kind of neutralizes Seth.
Which I think, unfortunately, because AJ or Grande, I'd be fine with either one.
Right.
Honestly, low key. But yeah, no, I feel like Punk would be a better choice. That way, we can automatically eliminate him interfering because we know that he's going to interfere or something. So yeah, I'd just rather him be in the match.
Exactly. Like we know that they beef is going to be beefing for however long. Just put him in the match, that way he doesn't have to come out and like kick Seth off the ladder or some shit. Cool. I think we don't have all the women's challenges yet either. I think there's one more like qualification match.
Yeah,
too,
there's
right?
one more spot. Yeah, it's going to be Stephanie, which is probably going to be her. It's going to be Stephanie, Liv, and Ivy Niles, which that'll be this Monday.
Yeah, that's gonna be a good one too.
Yeah.
So far, I'm more interested in the women's one. The women's lineup is stacked as fuck. Like,
yeah, I'm interested in the women's one also because I feel like it's going to be the one. I feel like it's going to be similar to last year in the sense where the men's was like Drew won it. Drew didn't need to win it, but he won it because it was for storyline stuff. It made a storyline move between him and Punk. The women won. They crowned Tiffany Stratton, who they thought was the next one up and who's currently still the women's champion. I think that I wouldn't be surprised if they do something similar this year as well. Whether it's Seth winning, whether it's Punk winning, I wouldn't be surprised if they just like wanted to do something similar with the men's, to where it's like this is the further storyline plot. This other one is the crown, the next the next wave, of people. That being said, I think I'm still leaning towards LA Knight, but I feel like it's going to be Punk or Seth, just to kind of like tamper down something like that. I don't know.
is that Punk's way to get to Cena?
So O'Shea Jackson, he posted his fantasy booking or whatever you want to call it, and he has Punk winning, and the way that he spun it, it was actually pretty. I wouldn't be mad at it if it played out the way that he predicted it might play out. And yeah, with his is Punk winning. Obviously, I'm a Seth stan. I would be happy with Seth winning, obviously. But if they're going to crown someone new, I think LA Knight is the person that makes the most sense because it's not going to be Penta and it's not going to be Solo. And I mean, Andrade would be fired. That would be super left field, like because no one thought Andrade would win this triple threat that happened. Most people were picking either Fatu or Melo. But yeah, Andrade would be crazy. I just don't see. It's one of those things where it's because it's like right now we know. I mean, right now we have Jay and we have Cena, and Cena's probably not going to lose this title until when it's time to retire. So then there's Jay. I don't like LA Knight's a face right now. I don't imagine him cashing in on Jay. I'm going to eliminate Penta, and I'm going to eliminate Andrade as well because of that. So then, yeah, you got Solo, who obviously they're setting stuff up between him and Fatu.
Correct.
So then there's just Seth and Punk. And with those two, they don't have to cash in immediately. You have the whole fear of lingering on, or with Punk, he cashes in because he doesn't want to cash in on Jay. He wants Cena, so that sets up that match. Or you have Seth win and he's just playing mind games for a year or whatever.
Yeah. When you break it down like that, you're like Seth or Punk makes the most sense. I would love to see LA Knight because I'm an LA Knight fan.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
And I'm pro elevating talent, just like similar to how the
Right,
IC is
right,
supposed to
right.
elevate you to the main card. Like I'm pro if it's similar to what happened with Damian Priest. Like if it's LA Knight that finally gets him into the thing, the top card, the main card. I'm
So be
perfectly
it.
fine with that.
Cool with that.
Perfectly fine with that. And with the women, it's like
Woo.
you could put it on Julia, you could put it on Stephanie,
Liz,
assuming back here,
Roxanne.
Roxanne. The only person I wouldn't put it on right now is Rhea, and that's because she doesn't need
It's
it.
real.
Yeah. But it's like
Anybody else
everyone
I'm cool
else.
with.
Naomi should
Green light.
win. Naomi should
Naomi
win,
should
and
definitely
I hope she does win. But I mean, Alexa, you can make interesting stuff with that. I don't think she needs it either, but you can make things interesting since she does have spooky powers. And then you got four. You about to have four new heaters that all just came up to the main card. All of them great.
So let's play logic or be logical here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Out of the women, how we just broke down storylines for the men's, what are the storylines for the women's right now? Where like Bliss doesn't really have anything going on right now per se, right? Like she's open.
They're doing something with her and Charlotte. They're probably going to end up
Okay.
being a tag team. Well, I don't know. That's kind of what it's giving to me. I think Alexa is finally going to give Charlotte a character that's not Charlotte. Hopefully. So, Roxanne, that would be interesting. But I feel I think she's tied with some Judgment Day stuff to where she might be the one to push out Liv. Or I mean, based off this last week, maybe Finn's trying to get her and Liv like super best buddies. So then they push out Raquel, which is like the heavyweight of the team right now. So like that's something you can do.
Do we want to see the Money in the Bank briefcase around the Judgment Day again?
When you say it like that, no, I don't.
Okay. Julia just up. I don't think she has anything.
No, Julia doesn't have. The only thing she has is that it looks like they're going to set her up in Zelina. It looks like they're going to set her and Zelina up. And so she might be. She's probably going to go after the U.S. title because they were talking shit on Twitter and
that's true.
I think they talked shit on SmackDown too or something, but it's being set up to where it looks like it's going to be those two. So then there's Stephanie, who has literally nothing right now.
Nothing.
Besides the fact that she fought Io, who is current champion.
And I would love to run that bitch back.
Run that back. I need a best of 7. I need a best of 7. And then there's Rhea and Naomi.
And then we know Naomi was just doing promos with Jade and Bianca, and that story hasn't really got fleshed out yet. And then Rhea is wide open too. So hypothetically,
yeah, I'd use different phrasing, but yes.
Yeah, my bad. My fault. As far as like no storylines are revolving around Rhea besides her trying to get back to being women's champion because she was eyeballing Io's title. So yeah, it's Rhea or Stephanie are like the most logical without convoluting any storylines right now.
Yeah. I saw a pitch with Naomi winning and then having then setting up I saw a pitch of having Naomi win, having her cash in before Evolution, and it sets up like a triple threat between the big three. Which when we were talking about like, oh, what could possibly main event a big 3 triple threat, I could see that main eventing.
Banger.
Especially if the title's on the line. Or even if the title's not on the line, the story implication. But we don't know if that's only like in what 2 weeks or something or 3 weeks, or is that July? Am I tripping? Is Evolution in July?
Evolution in July. Yeah,
July. Okay, yeah.
Same day
maybe Bianca's finger will be healed by then. Who knows? But I saw it. Yeah, but yeah. As of right now, I'm leaning for Naomi and Seth / LA Knight.
Okay. Yeah, I like that too. Those are solid options. Speaking of Naomi and Bianca, this SmackDown promo was really, really good. Naomi's playing the trope of like I miss you. We were friends. I went looking for you. I went to your mom's house and you wasn't there, so I just let myself in. I'm like, who the fuck? And you had your pictures on the coffee table. I was looking through them. It's like, hey, get up out my mom's house. And then she had the bar of, it'd be a shame if you ended up in a wheelchair just like your mom. I was like,
yeah, that was a bar too. And She was in her acting bag, man. Naomi was like, I mean, honestly, so was Bianca. Like they are really good at what they do.
They cranking it up.
But the fact that she was able to cry on, like, she cried on cue, which is very hard. It's very, like, there was people that would try to. I saw tweets. Was like, that's just basic acted 101. I was like, no, it's extremely actually hard to cry on cue. She was able to cry on cue. Eyes were red as hell, and then she went to the evil, like, Joker type smile. You know, like that. Cinema. That's what, like, when they talk about cinema, that's what they talk about. And all that was the first 13 minutes of SmackDown was dedicated to black women. That shit was fire.
It was cutting up.
They were doing great. I loved it. But we gotta big up Naomi. I mean, the fact, like, it's hard to cry on cue, bro. And she did that to open the show. It was 5 o'clock where they was at.
It's like, yeah, just gotta big her up, yo. Like, Naomi's like in her bag. Like, I definitely want to see the Money in the Bank briefcase with the caution tape. I think that'd be fucking fire. I just want to see the aesthetic that she has right now is just really good. I've been saying that for the past couple of weeks. But yeah, she's in her bag. I don't know if no, I'm just holding. I'm gonna let it play out before I, like, say what I want to say. Just let it play out. Shout out to Javon Evans. Also had a match on SmackDown this week. Killed it. Super exciting to watch. Just a freak of nature kind of talent. Like, just absolutely out of this world. My only knock that I would say is, like, yo, just slow the fuck down, right? Because at, like, 19, 20, 21, you're like, I'm just gonna keep doing it. And fair, because it looks fly, it's fancy as shit. But bro, we want this to be a long career, my G.
Young OG. I need you to settle down a little bit. And also shout out to Ray Phoenix, who back-to-back weeks had really good showcasings and tag matches. Like last week, like, people was like, damn, Ray. People who didn't know Ray Phoenix was back. I was like, oh, yeah, there we go. There we go. Like, their minds were blowing. I was like, and it was like, man, the first 3 years AEW / his Lucha Underground, like, if you just you knew. But like, it was
the fuck out of me. Not you knew, you personally, but like, these niggas frustrated. Because right now WWE is holding, like in DBZ, they're holding 2 Patara earrings, one in the left hand on Raw, the other one on SmackDown. Once these motherfuckers come together, you got to go Gita. It's about to be the craziest fucking shit ever. Like,
and they got the rings, and they still holding back. It's like the scene,
bro,
right, like in the tournament where they have to, like, try to punch the damn thing as lightly as possible, and then Vegeta just, like, fucking knuckles it and, like, breaks the fucking building down. But, like, they're like, honestly, Ray the last 2 weeks got off more crazy ass offense than Penta has since he's been here.
Yes,
Penta has not done that much, like, besides the Fatal 4-Way or whatever. Like, he has not done, like, his low, like, his, like, high crazy ass offense to where it's like, oh, that's why we say that's why we do that that emote, But like,
y'all want to see some social media views go up. Put them boys together. Watch this shit.
Oh,
watch. It's about to go fucking crazy.
Oh, man, I need them in the Usos, man, expeditiously. 20 minutes.
We said it last week. It was them in New Day. It was Lucha and New Day. Lucha Fraxium.
Yeah,
Lucha Motor City. Like, there's so many, like, solid tag teams that you could do with them. And I just hope that, like, it's not an instance of, like, we're gonna wait to put them together. No, like, while the tag team roster is constructed like this, you gotta take advantage of that, bro. Like, the tag team division on SmackDown is fucking insane right now. Like, you gotta capitalize.
But it's hard because Penta, I don't know. Take a shot if you heard me say this before, but he's so fucking cool, man. It's kind of hard to just pair that momentum up with somebody else right now. Even though Phoenix is fire too, but it's like Penta is really
they hit y'all with the Lucha Bros matching outfits and shit yet. You haven't like seen nothing in the WWE side like that yet. Like, when they come out and they gear is fucking on 10. Like, come on, bro. Like, I can't wait. That just makes me excited, bro. Because, like, The motherfuckers is fire. Cody cuts a promo this week. He returns, of course, from Saturday Night Main Event to this week's on SmackDown. It sets up like a kind of interesting promo where he's like, he went home, he drowned himself in the Tennessee cough syrup, had a doubtful moment, then he reached out to a friend and asked if he's like a good champion or not. He says the answer wasn't simple. It wasn't simple yes or no, nothing like that. And that he was a good champion. He says he felt good and that he was hopeful. He was a hopeful moment, and he started to think about his whole career, about AJ Styles faking retirement, his friends sucker punch him in the middle of his bus while his family's on the bus. His boss pushed him to the limit. The final boss asking for his soul. In the entire world, trying to figure out what that means. And the scary part was that, he was 100% serious about, wanting his soul and whatnot. And I'm just sitting here thinking, like, do we need to bring up anything The Rock has done, anything Rock related? Like, I get it. It did happen, Cody, and you have every right to bring it up, but I don't want to hear anything tied to The Rock for at least a year, 2 years, maybe.
Yeah, besides the box office views for his next couple movies, I don't really want to hear much.
I don't hear nothing.
Yeah, I feel like he brought that back just to keep the thread alive as much as possible, because you never know when Dwayne is going to show back up. Like if this UFC movie fails or this MMA movie fails, and then the Scorsese one, Scorsese should do good. But if
that's the one, that's the boxing one. He changed his whole fucking face up.
That's MMA. That's not the Scorsese one.
Oh, okay.
He's in a Scorsese movie. That's one of the reasons why he was in Hawaii during Mania, and people thought it was fake because it takes place. The movie's supposed to take place in Hawaii or whatever, and it's Martin Scorsese, so it should do well regardless. And then he has the live action Moana. Two of those are not going to do. One of them is going to suck. One of them is going to be okay, and then one of them is going to do blockbusters. So we'll see what his mood is like. So I feel like Cody brought that up. Just be like the thread, just to keep the story, to try to make it make sense as much as possible, because obviously we were going through months of a lot of it not making any sense at all.
Yeah.
I didn't need to know that my white meat baby face was robo tripping. Like, what do you mean taking cough syrup? You've been listening to Wayne? Like, I don't. Anyway, I don't know what it's
drink up.
But it's good to have him back. I mean, crowds fucking with him. I mean, you guys heard the pop for SmackDown. You heard the pop for Saturday Night Main Event. It's good to have him back. The tag matches, whatever, to me, I see people tripping on the tag match, and it's like, I feel like it's a cheap way so that you have two champions in the same match. So therefore, maybe there wouldn't be a cash in. But that also could be a red herring, or a swerve.
Both y'all here? I can cash in right now and choose one of y'all.
To where someone could just look at the ground and be like, who do I want to cash in on, or whatever.
It could be a pump fake. They could set that up as a pump fake, like for Money in the Bank, to where whoever wins the men's can like pop out during that tag match, unless the Money in the Bank's going to main event, which I doubt.
No, I think the tag match is. I think it's confirmed that it's supposed to main event.
So it could set up like a pump fake to where like maybe Punk comes out, he's looking at Jay, he's looking at Cena, and then just fade to black or whatever.
Yeah, and also it gives a chance. I think DT said it. I don't remember, but similar to what he was talking about, like, oh, Logan should be the one of the people in Seth's faction. Like, this gives Cena a chance to actually get booed. Especially because his opposition is Jay and Cody, who obviously are super beloved.
And he's still gonna get cheered because it's John fucking Cena on his retirement tour.
Yeah, it's because
that's the craziest part, bro.
It's like, exactly. Again, similar to what DT was talking about with like Kobe's retirement tour. Like, every team was just like, man, do what you got to do. Man.
Go ahead,
just go ahead, have fun.
All the fuck out, bro.
Have fun, bro. Like, so, and that's how a lot of fans because fans will boo in the entrance, but then it's like, they're still cheering. It's like, because this, for like, besides R-Truth, that's the last 5 knuckle shuffle you're gonna see. That's the last. That's the last you can't see me. You're gonna see. And it's hard to boo that, but putting them next to Logan will help.
Speaking of the last time, he I think I saw like the colorway for Money in the Bank for like all his merch is all Laker
Oh
inspired.
yeah,
Heat. All that shit
yeah.
was fire.
This shit
I'm
was
not really like into like third party like sport colored shit, but like John Cena is killing it with this whole like, you know, sports theme for every city he's going to. Like the man is fucking it's marketing genius. Marketing fucking genius. Okay. Double or Nothing. Actually, before we get into Double or Nothing, let's hit a commercial break.
Peekaboo, why are you acting so tough on IG Live? Well, maybe that's because you have Peekaboo VPN, the VPN that can protect you from all sorts of viruses, malware, scammers, hackers, and even Elon Musk's Neuralink. With code WAV, that's right, code WAV, you can get Peekaboo VPN for, I don't know, Peekaboo, $80 like a Kobe game? That's right. And that's for a whole year. $80 for a whole year. And not only that, you can connect with all sorts of different countries and continents without Big Brother or your mom or your wife or whoever looking at your search history. Are you loving those Canadian films and you want to see the hot film like, oh, I think I grew your boobs there, eh? You can watch that. Or the other hot adult film, Top and Bottom Gun. Oh, I think that man is making love to that goose over there, eh? You can watch both of those without the FBI or anyone flagging you. So, like John Cena, let Peekaboo VPN make sure no one can see you. Let Peekaboo VPN be your shield. Use code WAV.
I swear to God, that's probably the best one. That's funny as fuck.
Thank you.
Peekaboo. It's hilarious. A VPN with like a Kendrick Lamar like avatar. It's hilarious. Oh my God. All right, people. Double or Nothing happened this past Sunday. And you know how we record. We record on Saturday. So we're on time, but we're kind of a little bit late. But we're here, nevertheless. Off rip, I thought the show was great.
Okay.
There's matches where, as always with AEW, there's matches where I think that we could have done without. But there was definitely some surprises in this pay-per-view as well. I genuinely enjoyed a good chunk of everything that happened here. Show kicks off. Women's own finals between Jamie Hayter and Mercedes Moné, and bag. Both of them women were in their fucking bag.
Yeah, I super enjoyed it. I thought it was really cool that both AEW and NXT started off with really good women matches for their PLE / pay-per-views. We kind of already knew who was going to win. If Hayter would have won, that would have been like a really crazy swerve or surprise, very similar to the main event, maybe, which is probably why they didn't do it. But even knowing the winner or whatever, because I'm decided to be smart or over predict it. Yeah, no, the match still to me it still holds up. As much crap that I give Mercedes since she's been in AEW, like the match quality for the most part has not been bad with at least majority of the women that she's wrestled. And Jamie Hayter, if you were watching early AEW, you kind of knew that this has always been Jamie Hayter. She just ever since her return, she just hasn't been able to present herself as who she used to be when she was AEW Women's Champion, but. It should be no surprise that these two had a good match.
No. And they, like I said, not only did they ball out, there was multiple spots in this pay-per-view where like it was like just damn. Like Hayter had like a nice like sleeper out of a pin that I thought was fucking fire. There was a crazy like superplex. Like there's just the chemistry that they have. You got to run it back at some point. And it probably for me, it might crack into like my top 10 matches of Mercedes in AEW. That's just how much I enjoyed this opening match for sure.
I can see that. That's to me, that's easy because you got two with stat, maybe Willow, and then I don't know, Hayter. At least that's just for my top 4.
Athena.
They go. Oh yeah, Athena. There you go. That's 5
Athena
right there. Everyone else is
Athena was
just,
fucking crazy. And I probably could name another 5 if I went through. But yeah, there was no surprise. As much as like I wanted Mercedes to lose the TNT before she challenged for the women's championship, that's not the case here. They're going for like the whole belt collector aspect. And to be honest, the marquee matchup of Mercedes Moné versus Toni Storm is fucking huge. And honestly, should main event All In. That's how I personally feel. I think like you have, if these two can't main event, then who can? Right? Like what combination of 2 women could main event for AEW besides these two? Toni's been the hottest she's ever been. Mercedes is your biggest draw that you're using around the world. Like, it just makes the most sense.
Yeah, I mean, I would say like if other women got the same amount of attention, because we talked about this before, like they have heaters on their roster, like Athena, someone who we never see except for the one time, like once a year. Like Statlander is a damn beast. Like they have like they have people that can like really go. It's just like you got to kind of give them the same amount of attention. And then the answer to that question would be different, because honestly, Stat and Mercedes, their first match could have main evented something. I don't know. Anyway, to go back to what you were saying, these are the 2 biggest women in this company. It's kind of a no-brainer to do it. The only downside to it is that it doesn't, like, if Mercedes wins, she's beaten everybody, she has all the belts, and no one's like been set up to beat her. If Toni wins, she's beaten everybody, but she's already still champion. You can't really elevate her more than that. Like, she's like, to make Darby an example, like if you're already at the top of Everest, you can't go any higher unless you die. So like,
right,
it's just one of those moments to where you kind of booked yourself into a corner. Like, I mean, granted, it's still one of the biggest. To me, it's very similar to when we had Brock and Roman unify the titles. It's like, yes, it's the big money match. Like, but this, in the end, I mean, it did more for Roman than it would have done for Brock if Brock would have won. But the flip side to that is then we had like a year or 2 years of 2 titles being taken away. Yeah, of just like the main title being taken away. So to me, it's kind of similar in that aspect to where, I like, it doesn't necessarily elevate either woman who wins this, but yeah, it's and I'm going to say it's more than likely going to be Mercedes. It kind of makes the most sense. She's going to have all the belts. It's just where we go from here, and that's not our job to figure out. Hopefully, TK has a plan. No. Hopefully, he has a plan, because there's no one that's being set up right now. You can say Thekla, or I think I don't know how to pronounce her name, but that's not.
Yeah, she was in the program with Hayter this week, but to go back, I do like what you said there. It's like we haven't seen this since like Brock Roman, right? And I love that comparison, because you're right. As far as like for the women, we haven't seen anything this close to where it's like both of y'all don't need it, but y'all both at the peak of y'all games, right? Like this is like, actually cannot say Brock wasn't at his peak, but I digress. You guys are at the peak of like your game, and it's like, well, we're just gonna see whatever happens, and then figure it out on the other end. But I definitely like that comparison a lot, because these women are like the biggest, or the 2 biggest women in their field in AEW, and some may say in the world, but that's just
you could. I mean, as far as national TV exposure, yeah, I mean, I would. We're not going to make a list, but yes, I would say they're very easily in the top in the world, as at least far as like exposure. And like Toni, everyone loves Toni. She has one of the better characters, if not the greatest, like homemade character in AEW. And Mercedes is Mercedes, who, as of right now, she's claiming to be the Beyonce of wrestling. So
yeah,
I do not.
I don't like it. I don't know if that's supposed to be like a heel thing where like you just say it, or she actually believes it. But I don't like it. But
I don't know. From the little I know of her actual real personality, I believe she believes it. I believe she believes it,
And you know what?
which is fine. You gotta
I ain't
sometimes.
gotta love it, but if you love it, go for it. I'm not going to yuck anybody's yum. It was just like, oh, you keep saying it. Are you trying to make this a thing?
I think
This
no,
supposed to
she's
stick?
trying to make it a thing, and
Somebody's gonna come up with a sign that says the Beyonce of wrestling is gonna have a picture of Beyonce and Mercedes. It's gonna be a thing. It's just I was like, she's said this twice now, and I'm like, she's trying to make this catch.
yeah, no, like she's trying to get it on a shirt and shit.
I was gonna say I underestimated like Toni's like pop, like her fandom. Like I knew Toni was over, but like when she interrupted this week on Dynamite, everybody just fucking erupted, and also a great fucking promo if you didn't hear it. I just didn't. I thought the CL crowd was gonna drown that out, and that did not happen at El Paso this week. Like Toni she's showing you. I think one of the craziest bars was that you came in, you collected all the belts, but you know, I just care about one. I didn't care about, the 4 that you got. You got to come get this big one over here. And, Toni's right. You got to come knock her off her step. And as of right now, the only person that did it is not in the company anymore. So, and Jamie. But that's pretty much it. Overall, though, Hayter versus Moné, fire fucking match. Great fucking opener. Insane opener. Definitely worth a rewatch if you haven't, or watch if you haven't. FTR versus Danny and Nigel. This was one of the ones I was not looking forward to just because I have no like personal investment in it. But it still wasn't a bad match, and I like that I watched this match because, hey, I kind of had to, but also like it was more of there's more heel tactics, more dramatics that FTR was trying to pull with as far as like talking to Toni and like just playing bad guy heel roles, like getting in the face of Danny and just shit like that. Like they're trying to be assholes, and I like that perspective of FTR where they're trying to be bullies through like vocals and not bullied through like the wrestling aspect, even though they still won this goddamn match. And also they kind of took Nigel out the match for like 15 fucking minutes. He took a shatter machine on the outside and it was just like a 2-for-1 from there. But overall, not too bad. I am kind of questioning where they're going with Danny Garcia. I feel like ever since he signed, he had the MJF match. I'm not too sure about his trajectory. It has nothing to do with Danny himself, but more so with how you push and build Danny.
I think it's a mixing pot of it because
You think so?
Yeah, because it's. I mean, obviously, yes, it is booking. Like you need to be presented and you know all this other stuff. But when you get mic time, when you get screen time, it's
A
also up to
title.
you. And a title run. It's also up to you to like. You have to also get yourself over. Like you have to be
It's true.
captive. Like when he's on the mic, I don't believe a single thing he says. It's the tone of how he says things is he's I feel no, that's gonna come off rude. It doesn't. It's just not believable. And a part of that is him. And it's like he doesn't look bad. Like he has a good physique. His in ring style is fine. Just when you hear him cut promos, it seems like he's reciting lines that he memorized when he was like hyping himself up in the bathroom, like trying to memorize these lines. And it just doesn't come off believable. And I think some of the fans kind of see that. And then a part of it is also on the other end to where it's like he got the like I'm gonna call it the here nigga damn. Like he re-signed because there's rumors of him going to NXT. He lost the MJF feud, but he got the upper hand after the feud, after the bell rung, and then he got a title run. And then that title run was mostly on Collision, which there's at least 300,000 of their fans that don't watch Collision consistently. So it's like we're like I don't watch Collision at all. So it's like I'm missing every single thing. It's very similar to like when we talked about like the New Day stuff on Netflix, and it's like all their stuff is for niggas who don't have to pay for commercials. I pay for commercials, so I don't see any of the work that they're doing. So to me, it is kind of like from it does feel like you're skipping like plot lines or and points, or like how did we get to B to G when I didn't see any of the other letters? And it's because I get commercials, so it kind of feels like that, to where it's like if you only put him on Collision, how the fuck are the people who for sure, like the diehards who legitimately mostly watch on Wednesday, who might not be able to watch on Saturday for whatever reason, like how are we put like, if you're not going to give us no highlights, and you're not putting him on Wednesday, then how the hell am I supposed to connect with this guy? Because I don't
This
watch
is true.
Saturdays. So and it's like, and then he's at a pay per view. Anyway, overall, the match was fine. Is For me, I don't want to call it Timu Gunther / McAfee, but like them adding Tony Schiavone to it kind of gave me that feeling, to where
I
like
didn't put that together.
when Michael Cole was holding Gunther's leg and shit, and I was like, why is Tony Schiavone even in this? And there was a couple of points where Tony didn't even know what he knew what to do. Like when you're like taking multiple pictures, you don't know what to do with your hands. That's the vibe he was giving me. I was like, Schiavone, you've been in the wrestling business for a very long time, bro. Like you should know kind of like what to do. You look awkward, but
And
yeah. And
and
the
they
last
did.
thing, I
Yeah, go
don't
ahead.
is when you brought up Garcia's like trajectory or whatever, what makes him like, why did they have to give him like the stone cold pass out loss? Like what makes him so strong to where he couldn't tap out and they
Yeah,
couldn't
like what
pin
are you
him?
expecting?
He had why is he being protected so hard? Like we just saw Adam Cole pin him a month and a half ago for the
That I
title.
don't know. That's a good question, because I was wondering the same thing too. Because and maybe like it just looks tougher, but yeah, I would have took a regular pin and that would have been just fine. I don't know why he's being protected that hard. Um,
Yeah, no, it looks
and
tougher.
maybe
It
it's
makes
for
you
the same
badass.
reason. Maybe it's like him, being pinned twice in back to back or whatever. Maybe looks a little funny, or maybe looks like he has no momentum. Which is what you already have to be careful with Danny, because like once he starts taking these losses, people are really going to be like, "Oof, like, well, what are we doing here?" So maybe the pass out makes it salvages a little bit of it, to where like you don't look like you're just eating L's or eating pins. Um, but yeah, I don't know why either. I was like,
Mm.
he's not Samoa Joe. He's not
No,
Will
it's just,
Hobbs,
it's
nothing
just
like
like,
that.
oh yeah, it came out of left field for me. It was like, so we making him like he's losing, but we're making him try to look cool, like because he didn't give up. He just passed out. And it's like, but it's also Daniel Garcia. Like, like I would
Yeah,
understand.
yeah, yeah.
If
It was like Brody King. I understand Brody's not tapping out. He's been like the tough guy or whatever. Brody passed out. Cool, it makes sense. But like Danny, I was like, I don't get it. I
yeah,
don't
and
know.
also this feud kind of came from nowhere for the most part. Anyway, I don't know. I,
Yeah.
Random. Okay, kayfabe wise, this is a kayfabe question. If you are FTR,
Mm-hmm.
even though you're heels now, if you're FTR, are you going to spin the block on the Death Riders? Are you going to spin the block back? Because these niggas kidnapped you. They did all sorts of shit. Now you bad now. Now you being bullies, but you ain't going to bully the bully? And that's the question, because I'm just curious, because
Kayfabe wise, you still outnumbered, so you still
yeah.
might get snuffed. Also, kayfabe wise, why go double back when you lost focus of what you wanted anyway, which was the tag belts, right? Like the whole purpose of them like flipping on Cope was we lost focus. We're in trio matches and shit like that. We've got distracted helping him with the Death Riders. Let him get drowned out. Let's go get our tag belts back. So yeah,
Yeah, I feel
kayfabe
that.
wise, as FTR, I'm proving I'm badasses. I'm gonna snuff people out, and then I'm gonna go get the belts. The thing is, when you run into Hurt, especially this version of Hurt, I don't know if y'all can get those belts back right
Yeah, no, you might as well go after the ROH ones if
now.
that's the case.
Like, go holler at Dusty and Sammy and get those off.
Yeah,
Like,
Sons of Texas, such a terrible name. But no, you're not. Yeah, you're not wrong. I don't know. I just know in real life, for me, I ain't gonna let a nigga duct tape me to a chair and not get my lick back. But that's
No,
just
that's why I got to pile drive the nigga who made me do this shit. Why am I here?
yeah, you're the reason I got kidnapped.
You're the reason. Ricochet, Mark Briscoe stretcher match, which should have just been called the ambulance match. But I had fun watching it. It was fun.
It was something. I'm not gonna say it was bad or anything, but it was definitely something. But you're not wrong. Yeah, it should have just been an ambulance match. It's also one of those matches very similar to what I just said. It's like, how did we get here? Because like to start off with him beating up a handy capable man, and then all of a sudden,
well, because that's where Mark came from, because he was helping him out and whatnot.
Right, but it's like, how did that go to a stretcher? Like, how did I go? Like, how did the feud the feud just started, and it's like, it's like, yeah, I don't know. It's like
we got to the end before the beginning. We got to the end before you had the one-on-one matches or whatever. Like, how did we get to the finish?
If Drew and Punk's first match was the Hell in a Cell, and we just skipped everything else that led up to why it needed to be in a Hell in a Cell. It's like, yeah, like he has a fight with Zach Gowen. Next thing you know, on Collision, we're having a stretcher match for Double and Up. Like, what? How did we get?
It's like, if you had,
we're skipping letters. Like, how do you get to A to G? Like, but
if you had two matches where like they both ended in draw or whatever, you're like, okay, well now I got to beat you down in the ambulance or a stretcher. Like, that makes sense, because our first two matches, neither one of us lost. So,
right. They were in matches, because I think it was Dynasty that was the Fatal 4-Way or whatever. Or because it was him, Briscoe, and Karate Kid. Yeah, so like they did have matches, but it wasn't like a blood feud. If I'm not mistaken, it was Kenny, Ricochet, Speedball, and Briscoe.
No, it was just Kenny, Speedball, Rick.
Oh, it was a triple threat. It was a triple threat.
Yeah.
Well, they did have a match at some point in the last couple months, so it's like they did interact. I just don't know how it got from interacting on a random Dynamite or a random Collision to like, oh, now I got to put you on a stretcher. Like, it seems like an escalation. But the match overall as a whole, the match was it was what it was supposed to be. I feel like we got some high spots. They mostly fought outside the ring. I think they were legitimately in the ring for fucking like maybe 2 minutes, like dead ass. It was a 14-minute match, and they were only in the ring for like 2 of it. I will say, and I wish DT was here, because I wanted to say you're part of the problem, but that spot with the cleaner, I hate it.
You didn't like it? I loved it.
I audibly groaned. I could hear my eyes roll when I was like,
oh god.
It's like, and then because I think I sky tweeted about it, and then DT was like, "Oh man, I loved it." And I was like, "You're part of the problem, bro. Like you have The Last of Us on every single console. It's the same game. I'm part of the problem too. I've done it. I bought I have 3 different versions of the GTA 5. For what? It's the same fucking game. I'm part of the problem, but at some point we gotta stop. These bald spots. Look, bro. Again, I don't know. This is not even kayfabe. I'm not letting a grown man spray any type of cleaner of any kind. No lemon pledge. No, nothing. But other than that, no, good shit. We get some scissor stabbings. We get a lot of blood. Yeah, 2 scissors.
Okay, yeah. Let's pause real quick. Briscoe gets popped with the chair, and then my next note was, "Oh, he's leaking. He's really leaking. Shit, he came out of that stretcher red as fuck. Like, just." It was like a little concerning with the amount of blood that he was just running through.
It looked like he needed compare the blood that he had to the blood that Moxley wanted to give Will Hobbs. Like, you would have thought, because Moxley stabs Will Hobbs like 40 times with a fork. We'll get to it, but he stabs him a lot, and you get like. You get like barely a nosebleed of blood. So, like, Mark Briscoe, he was the definition of a crimson mask. Like he looked like he was in the Passion of the Christ or some shit. Like,
for sure,
like it was a
for sure.
movie.
He was definitely leaking. He gets stabbed with the scissors. Ricochet has 2 sets of scissors in this match. The first one Mark catches. The second one Rick pulls from under the ring apron. And I was like, what kind of villain? What kind of nigga got 2 sets of scissors just stashed miraculously around the ring? And I was like,
okay.
you know,
I have another kayfabe question real quick.
mm-hmm.
Okay, so you know how like we talk about like power rankings of like with weapons and in certain spots or whatever. Is the gold scissors stronger than the silver scissors?
Absolutely.
Okay, I just want to make sure. All right, I just want to make sure we all. All right, as long as we don't say, I feel like it has to have a power buff. Like it has to like have like 10 plus bleed damage or something.
Sure.
You know?
For sure. Got a poison tip on it. Yeah. It's definitely a power buff with the gold ones. Overall, I did love this match. My initial thoughts was I thought the wrong person won. After sitting with it, it makes sense. Ricochet won, but I feel like Briscoe needs one of these strong pay-per-view wins pretty soon. He's been taking a lot of he's been elevating a lot of people.
You're not wrong. He loses a lot of
any of his single match feuds. He loses. He loses a lot of them. I was on the opposite end. I definitely thought was like, no, Ricochet really needs to win this because. And I didn't know this until the match was over. That was Ricochet's first pay-per-view win since he's been signed. And it'll be a year. It'll be a year in like 4 months or something like that. So it's like, yeah, Ricochet needed this win.
That's true too.
Yeah, like they kind of both needed this win, which is why it's like, I don't know, they could have just had different opponents or something. But yeah, no, Briscoe does not win. Yeah, no, he doesn't win any of his like single matches like that. Like every single match that I can think of, he usually loses, which is unfortunate. But the crowd loves him. Obviously, TK loves him. He's a good worker. He has the charisma. Yeah. It's just like if they want to push the button on him, they can. It's just honestly, and they should have in hindsight. Like if people like to do the Toni fumble chants, like when Ricky or Ethan shows up and shit. But like to me, fumbling Briscoe and fumbling is a strong word.
Yeah, I couldn't call it that.
I'm not going to call it fumbling per se. I kind of want to call it fumbling. And the reason why I kind of want to call it is because with his brother's passing and whatnot, like you have and him already being like huge into the indies, like people who are super tapped into ROH and all this other stuff, they already are well accustomed to him and his brother. Like they love him. This, like when he first showed up there, that could have been like that. You could have pushed him to be one of the biggest baby faces in the entire fucking planet.
He is though.
I mean, he still is, but he loses. He doesn't win anything. So he is, but he's not at the same time because he loses everything. But it's just like if you would give him some, like if he would have had some credible wins, you don't even need a title reign or anything. But if you just would have had some credible, like you have the potential to be like every single time, like I'm doing this for my brother, I'm doing this for my nieces and nephews, or blah blah blah. Like you have the chance to make him very similar to like what Cody talks about when his dad or all the other baby faces that talk about, oh, I'm doing this for blah, blah, blah. But anyway, we like Briscoe. We like Ricochet. The match was good. I'm glad you did see why Ricochet should have won. Because, but at the end of the day, they kind of both needed it. And last thing. It's funny that Briscoe has been slightly growing out his hair so that he's not as bald.
Yeah, I did notice that. I do got a question, and it's crazy because, like, thinking about the history of Briscoe, of course, everything that you know about Mark Briscoe, you correlate with the Briscoes, which are one of the greatest tag teams. Do you think that there could be, I don't know how to say this, but like legacy guilt, right? To where if you did give Briscoe like this run, this push, and he becomes a great singles talent, and he wins these championships, like, does he want that to overshadow his legacy that he had with his brother? Because that's very important to him. And I would love to ask him this question myself. But just are we tampering it down on purpose? Because I don't want anything I do individually to overshadow everything I did with him.
I think that's one of those. I mean, obviously, I can't answer for him. I think that's one of those questions that is kind of subjective to where it kind of depends on who you're. To me, it's kind of like to me, I would say it's subjective, like an art question. I feel like it kind of depends because it's like, again, like for the people that have been super tapped in with the Briscoes, like as a tag team, like their whole catalog and whatnot, like you're not going to ever take that away theoretically. So even if he did, like, let's just say win the AEW championship next year in a really cool ass, like Cody finishes a story, I don't think that's going to take away from anything that the Briscoes did as a duo. If people wanted to argue that, that's up to them to argue. But as far as him as the human being and the man, I would have to imagine that it would never necessarily do that.
Mm-hmm.
And winning a singles title for you, like your brother, like you could have the, like, again, like, and I don't want to use like real life stuff to like promote and like do all this crazy shit, but like, again, like we were talking about it earlier, like real life and like putting your real lifeness into your character is kind of what makes people even attract to you more and like connect even more. So it's like him, again, very similar to like Cody finishing his story, like the title his dad never won, like winning a singles title and like dedicating it to your brother, and then having like a moment to where, you know, like his girls or his nieces or whatever are in the ring, and he's like, this is for you, similar to like, you know, like what they did with Brody Lee's son, or just there's so many cool heart touching moments that they could tap into.
Mm-hmm.
But to answer the question, like, no, like if I don't think anything would I don't think Jay's world title run means more to him than probably like his main event at Mania. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. I don't know. You would have to ask him for that. But like, I think it's all subjective, and I think it really just depends on the human being and what people like us who just watch wrestling and talk about it on pods, what we say or project or suspect doesn't matter as much as what the human being would think. But I would have to say no, absolutely not. Like, but yeah, I don't know. Actually, maybe that is a reason why he doesn't want to like. Because honestly, I would have put the TNT title on him fucking 2 years ago.
And I was just checking, like I was looking like his title history. I was like, did he ever have TNT? And I'm looking like he did not have. He hasn't had anything in AEW.
No, like it's literally like just him in like either he's in a random tag match helping out other baby faces, or he's like in a singles match that he eventually, or singles feud that he eventually loses for whatever reason. But no, yeah, for the longest time he was in the conglomerate, which was like 5 people. You know,
that's right. He was ROH World Champion. That's what I've seen him with. But he wasn't like on AEW.
Yeah,
he was on AEW with the ROH Championship, but he wasn't an AEW like champion.
And I don't want to say that doesn't count, but it kind of, to me, it just doesn't hit the count, it doesn't hit the.
I do remember that. Okay. Cool. We hurt people. Hurt business.
Hurt people.
Versus Dustin and Sammy, and this was I quite enjoyed this match. I was very much so entertained in the wrestling aspect and in the sports entertainment aspect. Of course, we're not looking at this feud as anything, and actually, to be honest, to be kind of critical, we need to figure out who we're throwing in front of the Hurt Syndicate, because the tag teams they've been eating alive. There's no reason for you to connect to the people challenging them. They've just been throwing out random like tag teams every pay-per-view.
And the tag teams that they beat, they disappear. We have not seen the Guns since they lost.
We ain't seen Private Party.
Have not seen Private Party. Obviously the Bucks are heels, so they're not going to do shit. The FTR are heels, so they're not doing it.
Killed Outrunners. Outrunners was everywhere prior to like Hurt.
I don't even remember the last time I saw them.
Like, I'm being like
I'm not even being facetious. Like I dead ass do not remember the last time I seen the Outrunners. Because why haven't they fought FTR? You would think the Outrunners and FTR would have already had a feud after.
And that could be something that happened on Collision. I've watched Collision like 2 weeks. It might have. That's on me. We need credible babyface tag teams for them.
I mean, we need credible tag teams right now.
It's true.
Because we got everyone is either disappearing or they're Collision
Or they're heels.
mainstays or they're heels, which technically Hurt Business are tweeners. So it's like they're I mean, they get cheers, like they're damn near faces. So you could just, but yeah, no, the tag team division is lacking. Like
very much so.
We talk about like Raw's tag team, like this tag team division is just as bad.
Yeah. And it doesn't have to be, but it is. But anywho, getting back to the focus of the match was dope. Dustin had a great showing. Sammy was just there to take suplexes. Like, hey, we need somebody to like eat these Germans and power slams and shit like that. I like how they played into the fake drama of, you know, Bobby being mad at MJF for trying to use the ring and whatnot. Which then turned into Bobby being okay with him using the ring and then spearing fucking, I believe.
That part actually super confused me.
Really?
Because like, yeah, so for most of it, because I was watching, being transparent, I was watching the playoffs as well. So I was at a bar, I was watching the playoffs, I was watching AEW. And I look down for a hot second. I look down and Bobby's mad at MJF. I look up real quick and I look back and he's like, smile at him like, oh, it's all good. I'm like, what the fuck did I miss? And I'm not going to rewind it because it ain't that serious, but I don't know. It kind of confused me a little bit to where it's like, oh, like, because the week prior he read the contract. You know who MJF is. Like, I feel like there was a reason you kept giving him a thumbs down, right? So it's like,
you knew what you're buying.
Yeah, like, and also you started off as heels. You're still kind of technically heels, so it's like, heels cheat for each other. What are you mad about? Like, it to me, it was a disconnect. That part was a disconnect. But overall, it doesn't hinder the match or anything. But to me, that part when like he's upset and then instantly happy, like literally like 30 seconds later, that part was a disconnect to me.
Well, for like, because how I broke it down was that I was like, why is Bobby being mad that MJF is he mad that MJF's interfering in the match or MJF is using a weapon for the match? Because if it's the weapon aspect, I seen Bobby then beat people's asses in the back. They were throwing people into like garage doors and, you know, shit like that. Is the Hurt Syndicate over using weapons? I don't think so. If it's more so like MJF trying to encroach and kind of lean into always needing to help the Hurt Syndicate, which I feel like is going to be the story here, that like MJF's going to get over cocky and be like, I help y'all get all your wins. The only reason why you kept those belts long enough, Bob, is because I've always been interfering and, you know, helping you out and whatever, which is probably going to end up getting MJF fucked up at some point in time. But I didn't understand it either. And then I sat there and like, maybe that was the play all along, was to make the audience or the crowd feel like, oh, he can't trust MJF, and now he actually trusts MJF, and like we're fine here. Which I think that's the play.
Right. And I mean, if that's a play, that's fine. They could just there's just other ways to write it, you know. Like, I mean, it seems like I don't want to say they're copying or anything, but it seems like they're doing similar story beats to when Sammy was in the Bloodline. So it's like we don't have to like overthink this stuff. Like, you guys are heels. You put a heel into your team, so you should be like, you shouldn't be surprised that he's doing heel shit. If you're not okay with it, then that's when you gotta be like, no, there's no cheating. Like, I don't need your help. I just want you to sit here and fucking smile. Like, if that's the case, then like present that and be like, and you know, then MJF can look at MVP and MVP's just like, I don't know, man. He said just sit here and smile, and then like then he could still like cheat behind the scenes, even if like, I don't know. I feel like if they did what you pitched, I think that's fine. I just think then, I don't know, they just got to portray it a little better. But either way, I'm still very pro Hurt Business. We hurt people. I will say I think it's very interesting. We have not seen MJF wrestle a match since he lost to Hangman. I don't think he's injured, and he's obviously not filming because he's been here every week.
I respect that though.
I mean, I respect it in the sense like, yeah, if you're getting paid millions, you know, you ain't got to wrestle.
Because he's giving us story. It's like he's giving us story content. Like he's been there. We wanted to see him, and I would take MJF in story aspect right now over MJF just wrestling pointless like matches, you know. Not to say that they were pointless beforehand, but like there was no true like payoff. There wasn't no true payoff with Danny. You know, there wasn't no true payoff after Ospreay. There wasn't no true payoff yet with Hangman, right? I do believe that if Hangman beats Moxley, you'll probably see them try to tie it up one more time. But if MJF's in this bag of giving a story and giving something to like look forward to every week without him wrestling, that's solid to me.
Okay, well, when you put it like that, I'm glad to see him every week. I'd rather see him every week as opposed to the video vignettes when he's clearly
the Roddy
not
one
there.
What was terrible?
Yeah, all that shit was bad. But also, we hurt people, right? I need to see you hurt people, and that's not you beating up a random tag team who isn't good. That's what I need. I want to see you in a match, but we'll see. I'm gonna let.
Who do they?
They got a roster full of goobers that could take a
no. If we can't, I don't want to see you take out a random person or a random tag team like you said, like a jobber. Like who could they target, right? Because you're not going after. Fuck.
I don't know, man. Fucking Speedball just took us. We'll get into it. I don't know, but I mean, he should. I don't know. To me, he should be working a little.
I got you.
Just a little, you know.
Put on the boots. So let's see you like wrestle.
Because I don't. What pay-per-view was that? That when he fought Hangman. That was like in April, was it? Or that was like in March. Dynasty? No, it wasn't Dynasty. It was No, it wasn't Dynasty. What the hell was it Revolution? What was it before Dynasty?
I think so. Let's see. Whoops, shit. Nope. Fucked up. Yeah, I think it was actually Revolution. Yep, it was Revolution.
Yeah.
So yeah, it'd be cool to see MJF lace up the boots. You're right. He hasn't done that in a while.
Just work somebody out real quick. You know, it ain't got to be a long match. 8 minutes, 6 minutes, even that. 6 minutes.
Quick little match, no speed.
Yeah,
we good.
Just work somebody out.
Next match was a sleeper to me because I had no expectations, 0, and he fucking cooked it. They both fucking cooked it. Speedball versus Okada was really good to me.
Sleeper is a nice choice of words.
What?
Gotta disagree with sleeper.
Sleeper?
I'll say this. Okay.
He woke up. That like Okada showed me something.
That's what I was about to say. Like, because when the match, like when the card or like right before the match started, I was like, cool, we got Karate Kid versus the laziest fucking wrestler on the planet. This is gonna be a banger. And so I'm gonna shout out Speedy because Speedball actually made Okada work a little.
Yeah.
And I mean a little. Like he sold by wiping his eyebrow for a hot second. He took offense. But man, Okada, oh, bro,
Okada was working. This is the best Okada match I've seen in AEW.
He wasn't working. He was just taking offense.
He was.
I mean, that is working. He's actually he's there getting paid, but that's not like working. Like the women match, they was working. Like Okada, he was just like, all right, I'm gonna take this offense, but you gonna see this whack ass clothesline to like this. The match actually okay, so I'll say this: the match actually did surprise me because again, Speedball like made Okada work, and overall the match was cool. Honestly, this match, the last every match that we talked about besides the women's match, technically didn't necessarily need to be on the show. I know it gets talked to the death, but I feel like because our last AEW pay-per-view episode didn't air, I feel like it's something we should like talk like just to like slightly talk about, and we can end the show with it, just like how they might be able to change the pay-per-view format so that the stuff is not as long. and I'll talk about that before the main event, or I'll bring it up before the main event. But you know, I think this was like a 15-minute match, if that. Speedball got some cool ass offense in, and when I mean cool, I mean the moonsault to the with the knees, him doing that shit twice. That shit was fire. Some of the kicks he got off was fire. Some of the kicks that he got off were goofy, but that's also kind of part of his character,
the gimmick,
unfortunately. Yeah. I don't want to call it a sleeper, but I want to say I was for sure surprised. I was absolutely surprised. I don't want to say it's a sleeper, but I want to say I was absolutely surprised. I was like, oh, Okada sold. He wiped his eyebrow. He actually fucking cares.
The nigga did he drop kicked him out of a moonsault. Like that shit was fucking hard.
Okada's drop kick is one of the best drop kicks. Like that's
sure.
One of the best things he's good at. It's like and that's not an insult. Like his drop, like if you look at his drop kick compared to people on all rosters, he has one of the best drop kicks in wrestling right now. He is one of the best. Like, so it's like when he doesn't hit a drop kick, that's when you know he's super wash. It's time to pack that shit up, bro. But yeah, like you're more than just a drop kick. And his hair was different, which was kind of strange.
People were talking about that too. It's like he's changing into his old self.
I don't even know what that means because I've always seen him as blonde.
I think he's like earlier Okada didn't have the blonde.
Oh, he had the platinum like
brown.
Because okay, interesting.
But nevertheless, thoroughly surprised. Was a sleeper to me because I was not. That was gonna be my go make food match, and I was like, okay, let me go and like go cook or whatever, get the food ready, whatnot. But I stayed and I watched. I was like, oh, I would have been pissed if I missed that because Okada was working. Next match was
Singer was taking off it. Okay, all right. Well, before we move on,
Singer was taking off it.
But so my only problem with this match is that this is okay. So this is Okada's like first singles match in a long time that he didn't have to cheat to win, and this is Speedball's first singles loss. So how does that make Speedball look if the person who's been cheating for months, if not a whole year, doesn't have to cheat against me? And it's also my first loss. To me, it just makes you it makes you look funny in the light. Maybe I'm overthinking it, but based off of what I'm seeing from like this particular promotion, it's like to me it makes me look at you a little different because we're talking about a company where someone can get, fucking a spike power driver on the outside and then hop back up and do something. I seen him cheat to beat Buddy Matthews, Brody King, Ospreay, a couple other people. And then he just beats Speedball clean, which Okada is do. He's a Hall of Famer in wrestling, he should be beating people clean. But why is Speedball the first person he beats clean? And why is this Speedball's first single loss? Like, this is one of those things where it's like this, because we know that, like, very similar to with Hayter with Toni Storm and Mercedes, we know that the end game for Texas is Kenny versus Okada. Did we even need this match per se? Like,
and that's the question I ask a lot when it comes to Okada, because we know where they're going with it. It's like, how does this tie back into Kenny? Unless they're not doing Kenny versus Okada at Texas and they're doing Kenny versus Okada in Toronto, which is All Out. And that gives you an extra month to kind of like plan or build that rivalry. Because I doubt, and I don't want to go into All In. I would be happy with whatever, but I don't want to go into All In with 3 main events, right? Where it's Hangman, Mox, and it's Toni and Mercedes, and then it's Kenny and Okada. Like a triple like main event or whatever you want to call it would be great, but there's also a lot in that.
Yeah, but it wouldn't be the first time doing it. And then if you
No,
consider the mid card title a main event, then that's when we gotta like literally like kind of like think about some other stuff.
it's not the title
Because
though.
well, no, because it would be merging titles. Like they both have
Well,
mid
no,
card
no,
titles, is what I'm saying.
it's.
Like,
I don't
uh,
think that it's the people, not the title per se, that people would like consider the main event.
right, but the people that know the how important that shit is people who are super tapped into, were at least super tapped into like New Japan. Which there's not a
Right.
lot of people that know that. Like DT would not know the significance
No,
of these
but
two people facing off.
60,
And
50%
then
of AEW's
don't
audience
be
would
the
know.
AW person. Just look up Google. Don't do that.
Right,
Like,
right, right.
well, I mean, which you can, and like respectfully, yeah, you should. But and I was able to see one of the matches. I think it was one of their last. It was right before Cody became Bullet Club, so it was like 2015, 2016. I saw one of the Tokyo Dome matches. Shit was for New Japan. It was heat. It was some crazy shit.
It's gas. I haven't
Uh,
watched their 4 matches, but I heard they're fucking gas.
Okay, I don't know which one match. It might have been 3. It might have been number 3 or maybe number 2. But match it was heat for the time. But also that was Obama was president in 2015. So you know a lot of time has passed. Is what I'm saying. It's like so. And granted, most of AEW's fans, they're not casual fans. They're fans that actually know the
Of that,
history of like
yeah.
of all the Stardom and yada Marigold, all the shit. So, but again, like there's a lot of people who don't, who still do watch AEW. So it's like you kind of gotta like, I don't know. I feel like it's not a problem to have that at Texas because All In or All Out, whichever one it is, I get confused. It is one of the bigger shows. This show is in a stadium, which is going to be the first show in a stadium since supposed to be Grand Slam, but it wasn't. Maybe so maybe since Wembley, I guess. So it's a big ass show. So I feel like you would want the big Moxley match that no one's gonna like because more than likely Moxley's gonna win. You want the women's match, which is gonna be Toni versus Mercedes. We talked about that already. That's a big ass match. And then like this is this is the Okada Kenny 5 or 4, 5. It doesn't need to be a main event, but it's still a big ass match. And I feel like if you want people to come see the show, if you want people to buy the pay per view, then you're gonna put on as many good ass matches as you can. Which I feel like
For sure.
that's always been AEW's formula, which is why we get fucking 10
Banger fucking pay-per-views.
matches, even though 3 of them should not be on should not be on pay per view. But you're gonna get like we'll talk about it because I really do want to kind of like semi dive into it, but I think it's fine. I don't know. I think it's fine.
Well,
I think you should do it for Texas, absolutely, because we got to get rid of some of these titles. It's a big ass match. Like you could like let's say those are the 3 biggest matches. You could start with the women again if you want. Have Okada and Kenny in the middle, and then have Moxley, Hangman at the end, or whichever order you want to do. I would either say I would put the women at the end, honestly, just because I feel like I know it's going to be a better match out of the other 2. But you can literally, so you have something in the middle, you have something in the beginning, you have something in the end.
Opening up with Kenny versus Okada would be fucking crazy. Like as a opener, that's a lot, bro. Like, that'd be kind of heavy. Yeah. I think with Kenny, and to close it out, Kenny Okada, it's just more so about building the story. Like we should be running the promos and running the footage of them and their history sometime after the Mexico show. So once they get done with Grand Slam Mexico, we should start to see the push happen so that people can get acclimated with their history that Okada and Kenny has. And I'm also proud of them too, because this week they also did the recap of Double or Nothing, like early in the show. After the Ospreay Hangman Swerve promo, they dropped the footage of whatever happened. And I was like, this is a good way to keep people up to date because not everybody's going to pay the $50 to watch the pay-per-view. So it's good to have that there, especially since, it's not free for everybody.
Right, and that's how you entertain casuals and stuff. Like,
Yeah,
even though sometimes it's really fucking like when WWE does it, a lot of the times it's really annoying because it's like
it is.
you're showing me something that happened in the first segment of the show, and you're showing me again at 9 o'clock for what fucking
Yeah.
reason? But there's a reason that they do
But
that
there is a reason.
because some people are they don't start the show right away, and it's like there's all sorts of reasons, marketing reasons why you do that, and it's like AEW, they need to do it more instead of leaning towards the certain audience or the certain IWC people that are like, oh, you don't know who this insert Japanese wrestler name is? Well, you got to just go on Google. It's like, well, am I going to Google during the commercial break? Just tell me who the fuck this. Give me a video package so I know if I need to care about this person, like type of thing. Anyway, there's pros and cons to all of it, but
There is.
Yeah.
Mina versus Toni for the women's championship. I didn't know Mina was a dog. Mina's a fucking dog. Like as far as like she was targeting limbs, hitting like figure fours, like just a technical like dog.
I was about to make a Jerry Lawler joke. Can I do it safely,
Christ.
respectfully?
Respectfully.
You didn't know she was a dog? She has the puppies on her.
Oh God. I knew it.
The puppies!
Mina was grappling this. I was thoroughly like enjoying this match as well. Toni Storm had a fucking phenomenal outcome as well.
Yeah.
More so, my question is like, and it's after everybody. It's the same thing we said earlier about Tony's like, where do people go? Because after Toni like blows through you, what do you do? We're like the mid card title is tied up right now, and with the main card title, we don't have women's tag team belts, which I think they should introduce pretty soon.
And TK keeps talking about like, oh, I would love to do that, bro. You're the boss. You can do it whenever the fuck you want, man. I really hate those answers from him. I really like Scorpio Sky. I'd love to work with him. You already do work with him. It's just shit like that. Like, I hate his answer, bro. Like, but then again, at the same time, some of the times I wish Triple H would give some of those answers because sometimes he's like Triple H. We talked about it before. Like he just says all the wrong shit. TK says the wrong shit, but he says it in such a PR way to where it makes sense. He's like, yeah, I would love to work with this person. Bro, they're in your payroll already. What do you mean? Like, just call him. Tell them to come and work.
You wait for somebody to come up to him like, actually, Tony, you actually hired him. He works for us. He's actually in catering right now. Oh, okay. But he has to say that because he can't say the opposite. He can't say, you know what? I don't like this nigga at all. He don't show work. Like he can't say nothing. He has to say that, bro. Because the opposite is terrible.
I mean, honestly, at this point, he gets like it does. I feel like he can't do any wrong. I feel like honestly, if he just said like, yeah, I told Miro to go home because I didn't like the nigga. I feel like people would be like, yes, TK, you're
go
my
home and redeem these checks, nigga.
Yeah, bro. Like, I feel like if Tony like went off on a couple people, like if he would have said what he really thought about Punk, I feel like people would have fucking been fine with it.
Nah. He gotta sit. Nah, he can't.
There's a certain fan base that are going to defend it regardless. We see it with Trump. I'm not trying to compare Trump to TK, but I'm just saying you see it.
But no, I like Reserve Tony. Reserve Tony, there's no neck brace. All right, Reserve Tony, there's no
bald asshole tweets.
There's nothing.
Bald assholes.
Like there's Reserve Tony is grown up. I much rather prefer this version of him. But overall, Mina versus Tony, solid match. Just
they kiss at the end.
And people were like upset about that.
People were upset.
Yeah, they're like, "Oh, this is wrestling to y'all." It's like, well, I mean, I don't really care for it. It doesn't get me off. It's just for the fans. Like, nigga, like what you want,
bro? I saw someone. Speaking of that, and this is a connection. There was a particular account that were like, I hope you know that Mariah May going to WWE means she can't kiss any more women. I hope you know what we lost. And it's like, bro.
What? No, I hate these niggas, bro.
It's like, bro, like
I hate all of them. I really do.
It's just so wild, man. It's just like just tell me you never touched a woman before. You never even talked to one before.
Shut up.
She can't kiss women anymore. Oh my
God.
We're
never gonna see that again. Thanks for you guys. Look what you guys took away from me. It's like, bro, shut up, bro. Like, God, they're just terrible, bro. I seen that. I seen my thing. I've been liking the tweets. I ain't gonna lie, I've been petty. But the tweets are like people double backing now to where like, oh, you T-move Mariah May, and now it's like, oh my God, they just fumbled Mariah May. It's like, bro, we just got you 4 months ago saying this crazy shit. Like,
yeah,
you look stupid. Like,
y'all was calling her a fake Tiffany Stratton and vice versa, like, and yeah, and now everyone, yeah, bro, it's just
like, shut up, bro. Like, Jesus Christ.
And yeah, I mean, you even brought up earlier where people are like, like you go as far as to call someone a traitor and all this stuff. It's like, fuck, man, like, bro, like. Tell me you never worked a job before. Like, just tell me you never worked a fucking job. Okay, real quick. Off air, I was talking to DT about this. I think it was the Mariah May stuff or whatever. No, it was about the Ospreay stuff because the last 4 weeks, Ospreay's been he's been wilding out. I
don't fall for the bait. Stop falling for the bait.
Yeah,
you know what he's doing. Don't fall for it.
And same with Ricochet, you guys. Like, just don't fall for the bait. But like,
I
absolutely,
he's eating everybody.
I absolutely
because you're falling for the bait. Like,
I'm not falling for it.
No, not you.
Oh yeah, okay.
Before like everybody who gets like pissed off, you're falling for everything he wants you all to do. He don't give a fuck.
I would hope he doesn't. But it's like it's one of those. It's like, oh fuck. You know what? I think I might have just lost my point. But what were we talking about?
The Ospreay and what Ospreay was saying.
Okay, so because Ospreay's been wilding out. Like it's been like 4 or 5 weeks in a row. There's been a quote about WWE to some sort of aspect. Like, even
to be fair, on the other side, they have been counter booking these niggas.
Okay, counter booking is a term I low key want banned, along with benched. Like, as far as 2025 goes, like benched and counter book. Like I'm one more week away from
WWE, but the niggas is booking like shows the same night. They just booked the ECW arena a week before. Nigga, come on, a spade is a spade, nigga.
A spade is a spade, but also like it's like you were talking shit. Like the person who runs NXT is Shawn Michaels. The person who's in creative in WWE is Triple H. We're talking about DX. You're talking about some of the two pettiest motherfuckers ever, and you decided to call them bald assholes and all this other stuff. I'm not surprised that they're being petty, especially if you're one of your big stars is talking about me on a weekly basis. I'm a flex, but also at the same time, is it truly counter booking if it's again, we're in 2025. Mostly everyone has multiple screens. I'm not going to say everyone does, but mostly everyone has multiple screens. Mostly everyone has whether it's Sling. Sling has DVR. Basic cable packages have DVR. Like, you can watch these shows either at the same time or just right back to back. Like, this counter, like, early 90s, early 2000s, counter programming, sure, whatever.
It's not as strong as it was in the 90s, but it's still counter booking.
It's a thing, but to me it's a difference in where it's like if you have a show in California and I have a show in Boston and it just happens to be at the same time, like, sure, like, to me that's not like, yes, like, our shows are at the same time. Yes, your AEW pay-per-view and my NXT pay-per-view is on at the same time, but fans are going to choose what they want to see. And most, like, if you're a fan of all wrestling, if you're podcasters like us, you're going to watch all of it anyway. Like, and if you're not a podcaster like us, you're
going to pick what you want to watch anyway.
You're going to pick what you want. No one has a fucking gun.
However, factual though, 3 goddamn WWE shows on the All In week cannot be coincidence. There's no fucking way.
All In, bro. Tony TK don't own Memorial Week, bro.
I'm not saying that. No, the question was, it can't be a coincidence.
Oh no, it's not. No, it's not a coincidence, bro. No. Their promo code was all WWE. That's not a coincidence. That's petty. That's something I would do.
So Ospreay can't be petty. That's what I'm saying. It wraps back to the original point.
It's just like everyone just needs to chill. That's what I'm saying. Everyone just needs to chill, and not everything needs a reaction. Like everyone just chill. Like not everyone but like with Ospreay's case, it's just like at this point, like you just keep talking, bro. Like, but also like it's just weird because you keep talking like, oh, like this other company they can't lace our boots, blah blah blah. But every time you lose a big match, coincidentally, there's a story about like how you opted to lose the match. I don't know. It to me, it's all very weird, and we just like. And as fans, you have to know that wrestlers are going to work you. Like Ricochet is working most of you. Maybe he believes some of the shit he does. Maybe yeah, but man, you're 36, bro. Like, stop rage baiting.
Stop falling for these niggas, bro. It's like 50 Cent. It's like when I see 50 say something crazy about somebody, it's like stop falling for it. Like he's just it's either he believes it or he doesn't. Let it go. It don't bother me, bro. Ricochet sitting there talking about X, Y, and Z. It's like, if it's real, cool. But there's also some truth in the shit that he be saying. You want to call this man a bald pussy and say fuck his wife? He's gonna be like, no, fuck you. Like, cool, bro. You can't just call somebody's wife publicly and think you're gonna get away with it. No.
Oh yeah, no, fuck all that. No, that's
like
no.
It is what it is. No. He got every right to respond to how he wants to respond.
No, it's not. You know, responding is fine. It's just like randomly, like, oh, you have like Monday Night Wav tweets, oh, Mick Foley doesn't remember his last concussion, and he'll be like, I'll squash that nigga. Like, goddamn, bro. Like, what are you doing? like, why are you even responding?
Funny, bro. Like, it's like, why do you say that here? That don't. Why does that?
I don't know, man. I'm very indifferent on
that bald man can't lace my boots at all, and then he gets everybody riled the fuck up, bro.
I mean, it's working.
So easy. It's so easy.
Yeah, it's working. I would be a fucking menace. Thank God I don't have a platform.
It's so because the people are just so dumb, bro. Like, stop falling for this shit. Let him just rock. If you don't respond, it doesn't bother you. Well, actually, Ricochet, you weren't shit in WWE. He's like, well, you're not shit, and now you just in the fucking Ricochet vortex,
right? And then like there was people like, well, blah blah blah, and he's like, actually, I had a very successful time there. I
actually had a very.
It's like, how are you not seeing? Like, how are you guys not reading the tea leaves at this point?
Like, bro, he's working people. These people, this is what they do. You just gotta look at it and laugh. Speaking of chaos, Anarchy in the Arena.
This shit.
Okay, wait. Did you not enjoy it?
No, I did not.
Oh, that's fucking crazy.
How about this? I would say it's one of the better Anarchy in the Arenas.
For sure.
But there was too many things to where I was like, I need you guys to wrap this up a little. Like, I need you guys.
It was a little bit long. I will give you that.
It was like plus entrances, it was 44 minutes. Without the entrances, it was like a little 35 or so, or something like that.
There was also 6 niggas in this match, so there's that. I will go on record, and we can now put Anarchy in the Arena in the same realm as like all the other stipulation matches. Ladder, TLCs, Hell in the Cells. It's up there for me. It's in that group. It's not the best one out of it, but it's definitely in the stipulation matches for sure. I enjoy these because it's just chaos. And you're not going to catch everything the first watch. But I'm also not about to rewatch this anytime soon just because it's like...
No, it's over... It like high key, like my biggest problem with it is that it's overstimulating. Like, it's too much. Like, in the first 3 minutes of the match, you get a quadruple screen. What the fuck am I supposed to look at? And on top of that, you have music in the fucking background.
The body hit the floor, nigga. It was great. It was great.
I have a comment about that particular song being a choice, but let's talk about the other stuff a little bit before.
I think I know where you're going with that.
I'll just get rid of it.
No, open up. Yeah, open up. Go ahead.
Okay, so all right, so the first songs. Jesus Christ. After we get everyone's entrance, Swerve shows up as the Predator. Fucking Kenny Omega has your shield Captain Kenny.
Captain Canada.
Willow shows up as herself in overalls. Later, she does reveal a big black Jack shirt, which was fire.
Which I love. I need to get that on the poster.
Yeah, no, and the Opps show up and they're like, "Where's Samoa Joe?" Blah blah blah. Heels come out, and then the last heels is the damn Bucks. They show up dressed as Benjamin Franklin. And you hear nothing but like fife music in the background. Like you think you're at a fucking.
The British is coming.
You think you're at a Civil War reenactment, and that's going on for like 5 minutes.
For a minute,
you're watching all this anarchy with all this flute and drum in the background. Like you're like, what the fuck? And then Kenny's like, nah. Let's switch that. Then they play the Pointer Sisters. I'm so excited.
Yeah.
And I'm like, honestly, I can kind of vibe to this. Like, this is like, I was like, well, this is fucking better than the drum and flute. I'm not hearing no revolutionary.
But that was
music.
also a tease because they talk about the Pointer Sisters open up. I think it's Collision's opening song was the Pointer Sisters.
No, it was Dynamite. Soon as it switched to Max.
Yeah,
it was Dynamite's theme song for
people
like
were talking about that for a minute
months.
And how they didn't like it. So I think that was just Tony being.
And
Tony.
then Kenny was like, nah. I need some alternative rock, which they played Bodies to the Floor. So my first problem with it is that's not alternative rock. That's new metal. If we're going to be music heads, which we're slightly used to be a music wrestling podcast, that's not alternative rock. It's new metal. New metal is like, not Slipknot, but like Linkin Park, Three Doors Down, that shit. So it's not alternative rock, Kenny, you old ass. Then this is okay. Maybe this is my English major stoner brain, and I feel like no one really talked about it. But to me, and I'm only getting this out of the way so that we can talk about the good, which I still have plenty of bad to say. But to me, it's tone deaf to play a song called
I knew you were gonna say it.
"Bodies Hit the Floor" on the same show that you have an Owen Hart tournament. No one else.
Yeah,
I've listened to multiple podcasts. No one is talking about this, and like, because I'm not trying to make it a big. I'm not trying to make it that
of a thing, but I do understand what you're saying.
But it's like, again, there's so many new metal songs you could have played. You could have played anything from Papa Roach. You could have played any other Limp Bizkit song. There's a lot of songs you could play. To me, it's just a little like.
But we're crowning the winners of the Owens. You play that. Yeah. I do hear what you're saying. I get it. I don't think it's that deep, but I do hear what you're saying.
To me, it's not that deep because a different promotion did it. If WWE did it, it would be deep. If TNA did it, it'd be deep.
Yeah, because WWE is a promotion where it actually happened, nigga.
Right, but the people who run WWE now aren't the same people who did that. The same dude who's doing that is to me, it's not good. I don't want to say it's bad taste. It's just not tasteful. You could have chose any. There's so many new metal songs.
There's things to be self-aware of. I get that, and I don't think. Actually, no. AEW doesn't carry the guilt of Owen. That's strictly a WWE thing.
Right.
That's how
right. Honestly, it's not even about carrying the guilt. To me, it's just like it's like if you had a wrestling show and you had Megan Thee Stallion at your show, you're not going to play a song about shooting a woman. It wouldn't make any sense. To me, that'd be bad taste. And maybe that's too relevant or anything. Again, I'm not trying to make a big deal about it. Because again, no one else talked about it. So to me, it's like, all right, maybe I was just a little too high. But like, I don't know. To me, it was just.
I've seen it. I see somebody else say that too. But like it,
you could just chose a different song. That's all.
I get it.
You sound like Drake. I get it.
I get it. I do. They do end up playing it. And here's the thing: the first 3 or 4 times. The first time it popped and they went fucking crazy. Yeah. And the dope part is I was on like TikTok and seeing like the fan perspectives of how like it was like mosh pit at a wrestling show. Like the energy was up, bro. You can't watch those clips of like the crowd and not get hyped yourself. It's fucking insane. That shit was fucking cool. And it did work because after, people were like, oh, this is the kind of the point where people like fall asleep or whatnot. You play that shit and you got them amped up and they woke the fuck up, right? They're up. However, after the fourth time, it's like, all right, fifth time, I was like, okay, we gotta stop. And eventually, after like the fifth or sixth time they stopped playing it, I was like, great. But that first initial pop, like, to see the crowd, like, I ain't been in like no rock or like mosh pit settings, but to see them actually jump with the like the bodies are in the crowd just fucking jumping and it hits, oh, it's fucking nuts, bro. That shit was fucking tight.
And to be transparent, if I was in the crowd that first time, I would have popped. After the third, at some point, the beer would have set into me. I was like, is this right? Should we be doing this right now?
The consciousness would have hit.
At some point, my morals would have hit. Like, because I do have morals. As many jokes as I make on the show, as controversial as I may be, quote unquote, at some point I do have morals. I'm like, what the fuck?
This shit was
after number 4. I would have been like, what the fuck?
It was a lot for the fourth or fifth time, but nevertheless, great fucking match to me. There's a lot that was happening here. We got Kenny backflipping into the crowd. They got that shit's fucking hard. There's a photo of it out somewhere where this photographer took it, and it looks fucking dope. Hobbs is just tossing the fuck out of Wheeler Yuta. I think that's just his job, is to fucking take him and just throw him out. We got the springboard powerbomb that the Bucks did. That shit was fucking dope. Willow gets tied to the ring post by her ear, which something about like, and this is with anybody with like gauges or something like that. Like when you like throw shit in them, it creeps me the fuck out. And you can see ear like stretches, like it drives me up a wall
because it's gross and it's also easy to break. Like I used to have late high school. I used to have gauges. I didn't go like that big, which is why my ears are normal. I guess I should say pause to that. But it's gross as fuck because like during the pandemic when I think it was the Jeff Hardy Randy Orton Hell in a Cell, like Randy Orton did something similar. Actually Jeff Hardy did that twice during the pandemic era. It's just gross. And honestly, I think another one of the reasons it's so gross is one, because you don't see that often. 2, it's really like once you see it, like there's a part in your brain where like that's really easy to like to fucking that's really easy to rip. Like as humans, we don't know how strong and how also flimsy we are at the same time. Like technically, if you wanted to, you can bite your finger off right now. You have the power to do that,
right? But
there's something in your brain that's like, no, I'm not going to do that. That sounds painful. It sounds like a lot of work. Like, no, like, so it's like, you're seeing something that's like, oh, you've seen someone's ear super stretch out and fit a fucking like handcuff into it. And you're like, oh my God, it might take one bad sneeze for that to rip.
Right. And of course, everything that they've been doing has been, tested through. They're doing a lot of like, precautionary measures. It was just gross to like think that what could I do in this match that's going to freak people the fuck out?
It's just one of those parts in the back of our like monkey reptilian brain to where it's like even though like because that's one of the reasons I really like wrestling, because it's like I get gratification watching wrestling knowing that they're not intentionally trying to kill the other human being.
No.
Like I do like watching UFC, I do like watching boxing, but there's sometimes when I'm watching UFC and you like see that like one really good shot and then you just see like that person go limp and you see them getting their fucking face beaten for like 3 seconds before the ref stops, and there's something that they're like, there's a part of me where I'm like, man, that person's really fucking hurt, and that kind of sucks. I mean, the fight was cool, like the aggression male part of me is like, yeah, like, but then there's the other part of me is like, that motherfucker, like he got knocked out, he went limp, like seeing someone's body go limp and then like just fall, like it's fucking scary. So that's one of the reasons I love watching wrestling, because it's like I know that this person, even though they're hitting them with a chair, they're not trying to actually like fucking kill this human being. But then you see those random kind of spots where it's like, nigga, that is gross.
That shit is fucking foul.
The gauge, that's just gross.
The gauge spot was crazy. I think I'm willing to put Hobbs Spinebuster up there with probably top 3 spinebusters in wrestling of all time. I think
as of right now, yes. And Arn Anderson, Arn Anderson helped him with it.
It-
Arn was there, which
that makes a lot of sense. It looked like an orange
Cool.
spine buster. Like
Yep.
he's definitely top 3. We got the Claudio swinging Swerve to the speaker. We got Swerve off the fucking pallet jack. There was just a lot going on in this match, bro. It was really fucking dope.
Tax in the mouth with the super kick / the
tax in the mouth,
the knees. We get an exploding table.
They staple Hobbs, right? Here's okay. Let's just talk about something real quick.
Okay,
the stapler parts happen. I won't get into like Swerve's part because he's done this a lot already. But this part in particular, the Bucks staple Hobbs. He takes it and aims it at his forehead or whatever, and they staple his forehead. He doesn't like. There's no what's the word I'm looking for? Where you don't no sell. He's no selling it.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't give a fuck. This motherfucker Toni is on the fucking commentary. It was like, he's been shot. You think he's gonna care about the stapler? And I'm like, I guess, nigga, you could say that. He has said it in promo on TV before. Like, it's not like Will Hobbs hasn't said this on AEW, but it was just like, really, nigga? Like, of course, yes, the bullet is not gonna. Bullet doesn't equal shit to the fucking stapler. But it was the way he said it. He was like, so he's been shot before. The stapler's not going to do anything. And I was like, nigga, what'd you just say?
Yeah, no, that's kind of weird because, like you said, we've seen Swerve get stapled so many times.
Like,
to my knowledge, he hasn't been shot. So
it's like
the fact that since Swerve could eat staplers, what does that mean?
It's like, you think Hobbs only eats it? He eats them better because he's been shot.
See, Shivani, that's why.
What the fuck?
Maybe that's why he hasn't been on every single Dynamite the last couple of months because he's got a while.
I was taking notes, nigga. I popped my head up. I guess in context of wrestling, he has said that in his promo before, where he's like, he's been shot, he's not afraid of nothing. But coming out of your mouth, it just sounded funny to me. But it's anarchy, nigga, anarchy.
This shit was wild.
So yeah, eventually the Opps takes the Death Riders and locks him in the ambulance, which I was like, okay.
Goofy spot.
Nigga. Yeah. So the Opps takes the Death Riders, they put them into the ambulance, the same ambulance that Mark Briscoe was in. Actually, Mark Briscoe was in this match to where he ends up popping out and ended up helping the Death Riders, still covered in all this goddamn blood, which is like, you ain't gonna wipe that off. You're not gonna, like, take a cold compress, a towel. Nope. Still bloodied up. So they throw him in the back of the ambulance, locks him in there. We then get the V-Trigger house call spot, which was fucking dope, between Kenny and Swerve. And that's one of the matches that I personally cannot wait to see. Like, seeing Swerve across from Kenny Omega is one of my technical, like, dream matches in AEW. I think I want to see that happen. But yeah, anywho, we get Angel through the exploding table. Swerve stomp with the Ellen Iverson answer threes, which I love the fact that, you tie your shoe game into it. Also, shout out to everybody who's been getting them. They've been popping up everywhere. Like, all the wrestlers have been picked them up and whatnot. And then we get the good guys end up winning the match here. I loved it. Anarchy in the Arena was great. A little long. Probably could have cut off like 15 minutes. But yeah, I was thoroughly impressed with that match. Or not thoroughly impressed, but just it did what it needed to do, which is keep me excited and entertained.
Okay, real quick. What's her name? Marina Shafir took a bottle to the head. It didn't affect her. That is weird to me. Like, and the glass bottle just evaporated because obviously it's fake glass, which is fine.
Right.
It's just like, even in a comedy movie, if someone
sell something,
you got to sell that. But overall, like you said, the match did what it was supposed to do. We could talk about like how long it was. We could talk about the music choices. My biggest nitpick of the match, regardless of music choice or how long it was, yada yada, is just the fact that it felt like there was no stakes to it. Like, with Blood and Guts, last year, like when we had the whole staple spot with Swerve, and then Darby was about to set Jack Perry on fire or whatever. There was at least stakes to that because at least set up a title match or something like that. This was just good guys versus bad guys, and let's just fight everywhere. Let's just do all this crazy shit. But it didn't necessarily matter who won or who lost because there was necessarily no stakes. Like this following Dynamite, we see another 6-man with 6 of the people that were in this match. Or but Briscoe, he wasn't in this match, but he did show up later because we get interferences. Like we get Gabe Kidd, we get Briscoe, we get Hook returns in a hoodie, like he just woke out of bed.
Yeah, because Hook he hits Claudio with the chair. Or he interferes with Claudio in this. And Joe's looking at Hook like, oh, Hook's back. And then Hook was like, nah, nigga, I'm not back. Fuck you. I'm out.
Yeah, which is weird. Which it's like...
Is it?
It's
You replaced me. And y'all got gold and shit? You got pay-per-view matches? You replace me?
Well, it's either replace you or you get rid of the titles.
Nah,
type of thing.
And all Opps, drop the belts. We didn't care about them anyway. We just wanted to prove that we was good.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. To me, it's weird because Joe came back from his vacation or hiatus or being forklift through a wall to return to help Hook. So it's like you get upset because I had to replace you for a title match. Like you still part of the group, but niggas just you
vomited in the ring. We had to make a choice.
You vomited in a ring. Like what was supposed to do? Like I've never seen that shit before. I've been wrestling for 30 years. But yeah, I mean, yeah. Everything aside, my biggest gripe was just like there was just no stakes. It was just a match, which is fine. It's fine to have just a match, especially in a match that's supposed to be entertaining. That technically was entertaining for a lot of people, because it's literally Anarchy in the Arena. You got exactly what the title of the match is. It's just,
I think, when it's simple like that, you just take it for what it is. It's Anarchy in the Arena. There was no. I don't think there was supposed to be any kind of like stakes to it besides chaos. Like,
that's where it's kind of weird because it's like you get Gabe Kidd involvement for the last 3-4 weeks.
It's true.
And we still don't.
What's his point? What does he want? What is he doing?
Like I mean, besides Moxley just paying him, I guess. Like we don't really know. I don't know. It's just I just wish there was like some stakes or like something mattered. Like towards like the baby faces win, they get something, or if heels win, they get. I don't know. I just wish there was like some stakes or like something mattered, because to me it feels like nothing mattered, because again, like the following Dynamite, we just get another 6-man with and 4 of the people or 6 of the people that
post this match. The report came out that like multiple people were pretty heavily injured, which
makes sense.
Absolutely.
You getting Swerve stomped with shoes that have tacks in them. You're getting kicked in the mouth with tags.
Yeah, they said the swanton that Matt did like fucked up his hip, and it was like, yeah, like that's what's happening. I did expect. It's also true too. I did expect somebody to return in this match, and I didn't know. The thought was originally Eddie Kingston, because like this should be about the time where like he is getting healthy because he has been rehabbing and whatnot. Maybe they're saving that for All In or All Out or whatever.
He said he was nowhere close, but that could be a work.
That's also true.
But yeah, he just had an interview late last week. But yeah, it seems like he's not close. But yeah, that could always be a work. And then I assumed you were about to say Jack Perry.
No, I wasn't thinking about Jack. That's crazy.
Then who was the other person?
Darb.
Bro, it's going to take a little longer to come off the mountain.
Arizona to like Washington ain't that far of a flight.
Mount Everest is not in Arizona.
Yeah, I said Arizona to Washington. We're from Washington, right?
Okay. Yes, you said that, but okay. So we got the pictures last week of him accomplishing the mountain.
Mm-hmm.
It takes longer to get down than it takes to get up, to my knowledge.
Oh, well, nigga, I don't know. I've never been on the mountain, so I don't know about like ascending time. I don't know how long it takes.
I mean, I might be wrong, but I think it takes longer to get down than it does to get up. But either way,
okay.
We saw how long he was going to go up. is going to take longer than a week
for him to get down.
Like, and then because
it's that chopper.
Mount Everest, I think it's in Tibet, isn't it, or is it Africa? Like,
what?
You got a whole flight.
Are you talking about Kilimanjaro, nigga? What are you talking
Where's
about?
Everest at?
Mount Everest is in Asia.
Oh, Tibet, right?
Nigga, we are way off. I definitely look like I failed geography.
Hey, man, I was in Bush was president when I was in high school. Nepal. Hey, man, that's a far trip.
Oh yeah, he ain't getting back in anytime soon. That man.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, my bad, people. My bad.
Like, and
I saw this whole clip out. We look dumb as hell. Hell no.
and I saw a bunch of people say that, and it's like, and even AEW, they told Fightful. Someone told Fightful, was like, "Hey, don't expect Darby." Because
I thought this man was at home in Seattle just waiting. I was like, yeah, that's what the flight from Washington to Arizona ain't that big. He's like, no, nigga, he's in Asia.
Everest
coming down.
You thought Everest was in Washington?
No, I thought he was at home in Seattle, Washington. Okay. Nigga, ain't that's crazy.
All right, bro. All right.
I would have sure edit that out, nigga. I was like, yeah, Washington, Arizona. He probably at home waiting, just chilling. Oh shit. Oh fuck, that would have been funny as fuck. Like, nigga, you thought Everett was in Washington? No.
He should for sure be back. He'll return when Moxley retains at All in Texas.
Don't put that in. Don't put that in the air. That's my guy too, but don't put that in the air. I need the storybook ending for Hangman to be him with the belt. I need the babyface run with the AEW title. I need that to happen. Anywho, Paragon versus Callis family. I thought this was a Collision match that should have been on Collision. It just sets up New Japan because Tanahashi pops up at the end.
All right,
so I won't go into detail with that.
Yeah, no. F this match real quick. This is what I want to talk about. Okay, so AEW is known for having long shows. Mm-hmm. We're not the only people to talk about it, obviously. Mm-hmm. Let me tell you this, and I know I'm not the only person to have this feeling because I've seen it. So this was my POV. We get through that whole Anarchy in Arena.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
40-ish minutes with entrances. Mm-hmm. And I think it was, and I wish DT was here. I think it was before Anarchy even started. He texted me. He's like, "How long is this pay-per-view?" I was like, "Bro, you know this is gonna be like 5 hours,
like 10 hours." Yeah, easy. I remember you saying.
I was like, "This is not." Yeah, no, because he texted. It was like he texted me like at 7:50 or something like that, and I was like, "Bro, you know this shit's not going into like 10 something." And he's like, "Nah, this shit is ending at 8:30 for me." I was laughing, right? So then fast forward, we get through this whole like, I'm like, all right, cool, main event, we here finally.
I wanted. I was hyped up, ready for it. Yes, I'm right here with you, nigga.
Because he before he said, "Oh, this shit, it's going." I was like, he's like, "How many matches do we have left?" And I was like,
"Last one."
I was like, these are the only two. More. I was like, we got Anarchy and we got Will and
I had no idea it was on the card, nigga.
The match ends. I think it was like someone was like, and now we got Paragon, bruh. I turned my phone off. I stopped watching the show because at that point it was like 9:30 p.m. and I'm like, absolutely the fuck not.
I'm not gonna hold you. I'm not mad at it because I did not know that. I thought coming off of Anarchy Arena and then going directly into the main event should have been how that show ended. You had the energy, you had the hype. People are ready for the cooldown, which was going to be Ospreay versus Hangman, which it was after the Paragon and them. They got the cooldown. But that match should not. I don't know where it came from.
It was already on the card. I just completely. Well, actually, no, because on
our card it wasn't.
Because when he texted me, I relooked at the picture you sent us. Yeah. I was like, we good. We got 2 more matches. We fucking good. And I was like, both of those matches is probably gonna be at least 30-ish. So I was like, all right, we got an hour. Like, and then that Paragon, and I was like, I'm turning this shit off. I will finish later because I'm done watching this shit. And I want to be as champion. Like, to me, it is unfair to not only Paragon and Adam Cole and them, but it's unfair. Right. It's really unfair for Ospreay and Hangman, and it's unfair in the sense where it's like
you got to get the crowd into it.
You got to get the crowd into, but like the crowd that was there was already tired. Like when if you guys haven't seen the Hangman Ospreay match yet, or if you want to rewatch it or relook at it, look at a lot of the people in that front row, they left. And they didn't leave because they didn't want to see this banger main event. They left because the shit was way too long. It was like, dog, relook at it, you'll see a part where I saw a picture where it was like they were doing like the typical like, oh, I'll grab your hand, you grab my hand type of thing, and you see a lot of people in that front row gone, and it's because it's a long ass show. Like you're asking a lot, and you like, we were making jokes about like how long Hall of Fame was for Mania and shit like that, and how like all the wrestlers were asleep. Like a lot of the fans dipped, and they dipped on probably
check that out.
Yeah, they dipped on probably the best match, or at least one of the best matches. And it's like, and it's like, because it's a long ass show, and it's just not like in our, like with us, like I have the luxury of rewatching it. Some people don't have the luxury of like when you buy the pay-per-view, you can be able to watch it, or like obviously some of those people, if we're talking about the people that were actually at the show, they don't have the like, they might not. I'm not going to pay for a show and then buy the pay-per-view after. Like that's a lot of money. Like, and just to rewatch the last like 40 minutes because you decided to, like, it's just really unfair to the talent. And it's one of those things where it's like, no, I don't want you to copy Triple H and have 5 matches. Like, I understand that it's a pay-per-view, and TK, to his benefit, he wants to give the fans
and he has,
and like, yes, but he wants to give you your money's worth
and I respect that.
Right.
I think there's a balance though. There's definitely a balance.
It's finding the happy medium.
Okay.
So my question is, what is your
world? Oh, go ahead. I think you're gonna ask. I
was gonna ask you the same question. If you want me, I'll go first. You start the show an hour early. You take off 2 to 3 matches. I think this was a 10-match show. It could have been a 7. Honestly, it could have been 6, but it could have been a 7. I think you got to start it. You need to start an hour early. And you need to take off, like, not every show does not need to be 9 to 12 matches, because some of these, like, there's 3 to 4 matches on this card, like the the Hurt Business match, the Daniel Garcia match, even the Paragon, like all three of those could have been on Collision, or at least one on Dynamite, and it would have been fine.
But Bobby and them, you need them on pay-per-view. Like
you should have them on pay-per-view.
You should have them on pay-per-view.
You should have them on pay-per-view. But since we know the division is lacking, it doesn't necessarily need to be on pay-per-view.
It doesn't have to be. But yes, I do understand. In like, my world, the best lineup for me is, I do agree with the earlier shows. I do like that.
Just 1 hour early and like 2 matches less, I think would be perfect.
Yeah. 7 matches is probably like perfect for me. 7 AEW matches, 7 solid AEW matches is good. That kind of lines up with what you were talking about, to where you cut off the 3 matches or whatever. But 7 AEW matches in an hour early, cool. If we in the AEW pay-per-view at 8:30 our time, 8 o'clock our time, good for me. That's solid.
Which is like 12:30 East Coast time. So like, because
that's also asking a lot for people to be like, oh, we have our pay-per-views at 12:30 in New York City. Like, you gotta. I don't know if that's possible.
Something,
like, and I don't. That's getting to like the logistics and like.
Yeah, right. Sure. Yeah, that's not our pod. We're not a numbers podcast like that. It's just like, I feel like, and we'll break down the match. I just want to get this out of the way because I don't want to end the show with this. But I feel like because again, I understand the aspect of wanting to give the fans their money's worth. Like, there's a lot of people that pay $50 for a pay-per-view. They want to see all this talent. They want to see all these cool ass matches. Sometimes less is more, but it doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be the Triple H method. Like, we need a happy medium. And
Right.
like, especially like if every match is getting fucking 15 or more, then it's like, man, I don't know, man. But I know I wasn't the only person because I seen other people and I even heard a couple other podcasts, but like a lot of people did not even know about that Paragon match. And they were like, oh, we just like you just had all the mental adrenaline, all the endorphins hit your brain at the Anarchy Arena, and they're like, all right, now we got a 6-man. Nigga, what?
Yeah. Like, and I feel bad because like you put in some workers. You got Kanosuke and you had Fletcher in that match who are some fucking workers. Paragon's also some fucking workers. But it's like that's not the high that we was looking for, man. Like that's like we were trying to go straight into like the Ospreay and Hangman match. And to close it out, like I said, it's an important piece here because they set up Tanahashi in some kind of way because New Japan's doing this shit over there. So maybe it's gonna be Fletcher versus Tanahashi in his last match at Forbidden Door, and we'll see what that looks like. But let's wrap this up. AEW Owen Final, Ospreay, Hangman, absolutely fucking phenomenal.
Yeah, exactly what it was supposed to be. Honestly,
fucking phenomenal, bro. It's going to one of my match of the year list for sure. Out of this pay-per-view, I think that's a no-brainer. But they fucking balled the fuck out. One of my favorite spots about this match was them pulling out their Opps finishing move, right? To see like, oh, we've hit each other with our finishers and that's not working. So I'm going to hit you with a V-trigger, who my biggest op is Kenny Omega, and you're going to hit me with a big pressure. His op is fucking Swerve. Like, that's fucking tight to me. Like, that was a different level of, like, calling back of, like, we done lost to these people so many times or battled with these people so many times. Let me pull out their moves, right? Let me try some of that. I'm definitely not in my bag, but I'm so desperate to, like, do,
Yeah, it's like Goku hitting a Gatling gun on Frieza.
Yeah, like I
like what? I never seen
like,
Goku hit a big beta yet. What the fuck?
Nah, not at all. I thought that was really dope. I thought Paige using Christopher Daniels' move in this was a callback, and I respect that Schiavone also brought that up. Like, oh, using this move because he is the one who retired him and XYZ. Like, just those callbacks. Like, I love the atmosphere where like they toned the lights down a little bit. They had like this blue glow, like. And somebody kind of pointed it out earlier, and then one of like the production crew members verified that like Mercedes in Hayter's match was bright. It was like the symbolizing that the sun was up, right? And then on the back half, they changed the lights down to symbolize kind of like the darker desert, like night vibe. And I thought that was fucking genius. I love the just creativity that the production crew's getting into. Like that's a huge step. But overall,
I'm gonna call a little cap on that. I'm not saying that they're wrong, but I feel like that's them making up an excuse. The reason why they dimmed the lights down is because people were leaving because the show was long. At least that's how
I don't think that was the case.
The difference between the beginning of Anarchy in Arena versus the beginning of Hangman and Ospreay is like when you are watching your basketball team down by 20 in the last minute and 30 seconds and you just see a bunch of people leaving. But you don't actually physically see the people leaving.
I don't. Picture? And even with that,
and this is not me talking shit. Sorry, this isn't me talking shit. It's just I feel like there's a little like I don't think the lighting was as philosophical. To me, it wasn't no Huey Freeman as they were trying to portray.
Because they changed the entrance too. Like you don't create a secondary set of entrance like graphics because you think people are going to leave. The entrance graphics were also like symbolizing night like stars and shit like that, like or starry nights. Like it's a whole thing that they were doing there.
Yeah.
I don't think it's because people were leaving. Like there was too much that they added into that. Like if you go back and look at the Ospreay match, like their entrances were completely different. The AEW was glowing and it wasn't like as bright as it was before. Like just shit like that is like cool. I thought it was dope. Anywho though, the story behind this was that this match is that they didn't figure out who's going to win this match until like a couple days beforehand. Obviously, it could have went either way. Hangman or Ospreay.
I thought it was the day of.
That's what I didn't know if it was the day before, day of. Like,
I thought, from my recollection, it was the day of.
So day of.
It might have been the day before, but
they don't know who's going to win this match because neither one of them is. They're both putting each other over. From what we've been hearing, I think the best person won. I think Ospreay will be fine. I don't think it's his time yet. I think a lot of Ospreay's promos have been talking about his ascension. I think you can dig into that. I think there's a story there. I think right now it is Hangman's ascension. We've been watching him go through the fucking fire for a year and a half now, and now he's back on the trail to be babyface Hangman, which is what AEW really needs right now, is him. I also like the fact of, in this week on Dynamite, Ospreay's trying to get these two to like play nice because he needs your help to win the belt. That's a story. Can you get help from the person that you hated the most? Would you accept it? Would you allow it? Would you help the man who burned your childhood home down for the betterment of AEW? I like that story.
Hey, man. I think I said damn near 2 months ago that this is where they were going to, and it's going to happen. I also said I'd walk in oncoming traffic, but life has changed a little bit. I got concerts to go to, and babies to kiss, and whatnot. I still might walk into traffic, but we're getting the Hangman and Swerve alliance, and it's more than likely going to
happen.
It's honestly, this bucks are probably going to cost Hangman at All In.
Which is funny because he mentioned that in the promo this week. Because he's like, last time I seen you, or last time you came around, the Bucks interfered in my match and caused me like the world championship and whatnot. And they said they did it for you. And Hangman was like, I don't need them to do it. If I wanted you to not win, I would have did it. If you can't remember, dumbass, I was there. It had a split second where I looked at Mox where I wanted to help you. And I was like, yeah, that definitely did happen. And Hangman is not no punk. If he wanted to take out Swerve, he would have did it himself. No, he would have interfered in some kind of way.
Yeah, no. That's why Hangman is always going to be one of my favorites. Because to me, like, even no matter how corny he comes off sometimes, especially with this Batman voice thing that he's been doing for like last year or so, he isn't a liar though. Like, like everything, everything he said or that he said he would do, he would do. Keeping Swerve away from the title, like, and then even, I don't know, just I don't know. I like Hangman.
Everything was justified.
Maybe because I used to be an emo, but I like Hangman. I like his trajectory. I think some of it has been wonky, and a part of it is because they used to have Punk and they had all these other moving pieces going on. But now that he's back to like the main focal point, I do enjoy it. I disagree though, as far as I think Ospreay should have won, but assuming that they want to keep this Darby Allin plan,
I don't think that's the case. I hope that's the case.
I think, honestly, if it wasn't the case, then they should have changed the titles off of Mox. They could have changed the titles off. They could have took the title off of Mox anytime they wanted. Mox has had this title since September, I think.
Mm-hmm.
They could have put it on Cope. They could have put it on Hangman before. They could have put it on Jay White. They could have put it on so many other people. And like, I feel like the fact that they keep doubling down, I feel like they definitely are waiting for Darby. Otherwise, like only time will tell. But dead ass, if Hangman does not win, then it's definitely been for Darby. All of this has been for Darby. And it seems like that's always what they kind of wanted. But it's honestly, the real question is that what Darby wants?
So Hangman or Mox has had 4 or 8 title matches since September, right? Since he got it. And I'm gonna name off who he's fought, and you tell me if they would have been a better choice as world champion, okay. Right? First defense was Orange Cassidy.
No.
Next defense was a fatal 4-way, Hangman, Jay White, Orange Cassidy.
I would say that would have been a perfect time to give it to Hangman or Jay White, but not Orange or Mox.
Okay, so we got at one match where we could have switched it.
Mox
versus Hobbs.
By the time we get to that point, like the crowd was already like,
mind you, that was the third title defense. Like
that was that was the third title defense. But by that time,
title defense.
But I don't know what's the month difference. Either way, by that time,
it was most
of the. You said what?
It was a month, so that was.
It was
Orange Cassidy Mox was November 23rd. Another month was the Fatal 4-Way.
By the time the Fatal 4-Way happened, majority of the people were already sick of the Death Riders like rhetoric and what it meant and what it understood. So if they wanted to pivot based off of perception, and the best example I can give you, like the other week when Mina came back and then Toni was like, you know what, I switched the music already before the match even ended.
Mm-hmm.
If he wanted to make a similar pivot, that Fatal 4-Way would have been the perfect time. But then they didn't pivot, so continue.
So I agree that around that time, I won't say it was in December. I think in January. I think the match that he had against Hobbs, that's when people were like, okay, this Death Rider shit is like, all right, what the fuck's going on here? So we're a month apart about as far as like, you know, when we thought it was overexhausted of the Death Rider shit. But yeah, okay, Moxie Hobbs. Should he have lost to Hobbs? Not really.
Hobbs shouldn't have won, but he shouldn't have lost the way that he lost. That's for sure.
Revolution against Cope and Christian Cage.
Oh God. At this point, I'm gonna say yes.
Really?
I'm gonna say yes because everyone, even diehards, were already sick of this Death Rider stuff. Like,
do we believe that Cope would have been a solid world champion?
He would be a solid interim champion. I feel like he would have been better than us seeing what we've seen since that match. Because even by the Fatal 4-Way, which was month 2, there was so many people who are already over this bullshit. And then we get the Hobbs stuff, and then we see him just randomly choke out Hobbs, someone who looks like he could literally eat him. And then it's like, all right, now, even the most diehards are kind of taking the IV out. It's like, what the fuck are we doing here? And then it's like, all right, Cope seems like a decent reset. Like, there's a reason you hired this old ass bug-eyed man. And they were like, nah. They're still like, nah.
Death Riders for an interim champion? I don't think you do.
I'm conflicted because at some point you do need to realize when you pivot or not.
For sure. Absolutely. I just don't know if you do it for an interim. I don't know if you do it for somebody who's just going to hold it for, 4 to 6.
No, but also Cope is a big name. Like, it's not like...
For sure.
Cope isn't the same as dropping it to... No disrespect, but it's not the same as dropping it to Cassidy. Like,
absolutely.
It is Adam Copeland.
But we're...
Edge.
I will put Cope in the middle. I won't say that it would have been a for sure yes for me, but he's sitting in the middle. And that's just based off of like what he was doing at the time, also durability and shit like that as well. Mox versus Swerve. Swerve could have won it, and you would have been fine at Dynasty. I think that
I would not
confidently.
No, I want to Mox with that one. Bro, I don't.
Okay.
I really don't like Swerve, but we're not going to get into that. We've been through this.
Joe.
Oh, absolutely.
Joe in the cage. Yeah. So out of this list,
not even the cage,
but just Samoa Joe in general.
Yeah, Joe
for sure.
So I would say Joe, Hangman, or Jay. Probably Hangman because Jay. I would say Hangman, maybe Copeland, but for sure Samoa Joe.
Like, I'll give you 2.5. So out of the 8 championship matches he's had, only 2 and a half should have possibly won.
Right, but two, or at least one of those halves, were already after a lot of fatigue from Death Riders. Like a lot of people have been fatigued from the Death Riders.
Was after definitely the fatigue. The early Hangman match you can't really count because it's his second title defense. He wasn't really exactly like you didn't know what it was yet off of the second title defense. Off that third one, you were like, all right, bro, I'm over the shit.
Real ones do.
No,
but,
for sure.
But no, for sure. I feel like for sure Copeland or Joe were the perfect. Like, all right, it's been 3-4 months. The reactions from the IWC / even the people in the crowd, because again, IWC versus what the crowd reaction is, they're completely different. Like if you bring in the Jey Uso argument, completely different. IWC hate Jey Uso. You look at Jey Uso on the fucking show, they're asking for encores. Like he's eating with children. Like it's like, so IWC versus in crowd reaction, completely different. By the time we get to the Adam Copeland feud, which is literally 2 months ago at this point, I think.
Yeah.
People were already super fatigued with Death Riders at this point.
Yeah.
So like that would have been a time to pivot. And they didn't, because they're gonna, FTR, they did the FTR turn, and they're setting up for all this other stuff. So then you got the Joe stuff. And I don't know a single person who doesn't like Samoa Joe. Honestly, I don't think I trust a nigga who don't like Samoa Joe. So, like, again, that was another perfect pivot, and it's like, nah. So that's why. Also,
like, Joe had the trios. You're not about to give him AEW championship and the trios at the same time. Like, there's just things that, like, as much as I agree, is that like they're already tied up in something else.
They didn't have to give them the trios, though.
Dude, you didn't. You didn't at all. But that was what it was at the time.
It was what it was.
I don't think that, like, giving anybody the title at that time supersedes the moment that we have with Hangman, which is why this is really important to me personally, because you don't do this push and have this match and have him go through the year with Swerve for him not to get the championship. If he walks out of All In without the belt, it'd be like, bro, stop playing with me. Like, why do I care about everything that Hangman have been doing or has been doing for this 1.5, 2 years, if it's not going to lead to him getting the belt? Because right now, he's AEW's Cody. He's the babyface that everybody loves. I think he's in their own way, of course, but he is their number one guy. Like, as far as babyface, yeah,
I would say he's who the management want to be their number one guy. I feel like Hangman has the potential to be the number one guy, but I don't think he's that. Like, if this was the same Hangman that almost beat, or that did beat Kenny Omega, I would 100% agree with you. I think this is a different version of Hangman, and I don't think he has the same fan love. I don't think he has that Cody babyface love that other babyfaces have. Like Hangman versus Kenny. Like, when he stopped being a drunk and stopped being depressed, and he's like, "Fuck this, I'm going to," like, that that was a Cody type.
Hangman is loved, bro.
I love Hangman.
I'm telling you,
he's one of my favorite. Like,
I'm telling you, this nigga is beloved by these motherfuckers.
He definitely is. He definitely is. I'm just saying, like, there's a difference between the love he's getting now versus the love he was getting in, like, 2022. There is some difference. The love is. Man, dog, the
nigga burned somebody's house down. They still cheer for him. That's love, nigga.
Hey, bro, that's because a black
regardless
man broke
of your
into
reason,
his house.
Regardless, nigga, that nigga is love. He did the ultimate heel tactic about burning a nigga's house down. Took the dopest picture in front of this nigga's house and was still loved, bro.
But that nigga broke into your house and held your babe, bro. That was honestly burning your house. That was not enough. If someone did that to me, that's burning your house down is not enough. You broke into my home. You had my wife scared. You held my baby, bro. If I ever do have a child, bro, it's gonna be a long time till any average nigga can just hold my child. Because I know a lot of people don't wash their hands and shit, bro. I'm sorry, like, you might have to sign an NDA before you hold my child. So I understand what Hangman did, bro. You helped my newborn, my nigga. You broke into my home. You helped my newborn. I'm burning, bro. Burning.
He stabbed a nigga in the mouth and was still loved. There's not a lot that you can like, nigga. But he's over, nigga.
But Hangman wasn't the heel in that situation, theoretically.
The point being is that he's done the craziest fucking tactics and he still got love. Nigga, I sound like MJF right now. Like, that's exactly what MJF's point was, nigga. Why do you still love this nigga?
Because there was actual reasons why he did it. That's the difference between MJF and Hangman. Like, there's a reason why Hangman went to that level. Hangman never, like, again, he used to be a drunk, depressive, emo person who was insecure. Then he became a champion and like he started to believe in himself after Dark Order and all this other stuff. He has a fucking child and he has an op that breaks into his home and holds his baby in a crib, bro. I'm sorry, like, burning niggas' house down is not enough. Hangman that's why he is like, he's getting cheered because he is the goddamn face. I'm like, and that's not even me being anti-Swerve. It's not even.
That's what I'm trying to tell you, nigga. That's the whole point of this. He is the face, nigga. He is it. He's that nigga. He's that guy.
But it's 2025 now, bro. This ain't the same shit.
He's that guy.
You've been here getting perms, having random beasts with old people like Jeff Jarrett and the bald dude, Christopher Daniels. You got a perm. You talking like Batman?
He killed a nigga. He retired Christopher Daniels. You know how love Christopher Daniels is, and niggas still cheer for him. He's over, bro.
Hey, bro.
This nigga's done the worst shit ever.
Baron Corbin retired Kurt Angle. What you want?
That's crazy.
What do you what do we do?
Like, that's what I mean, bro. It's a different kind of love, bro. It's a different kind of love. But we're gonna wrap it up here. That was our AEW Double or Nothing preview or review. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I thought it was a great fucking pay-per-view. I'll be a little long at times. There was definitely a lot of surprising moments in there. Yeah, I out of 5, off of just the strength of the matches, 4 for me.
I'm gonna say 2.8 or 3, because to me the first match and the last match are definitely the must-see matches. I'm very pro
2.8
or 3.
We watched Saturday Night Main Event the day before, and
I didn't watch
it. 2.8.
I wasn't on that episode.
If this got a 2.8, you watch Saturday Night Main Event, and that gets something higher than 2.8. We got to talk.
It would have been like a 2.
We got to talk.
I mean, we didn't get to really talk about it, but I wanted to say that I need everyone. If you Rollins gang, Rollins Hive, Rollins stand, if you anything Seth Rollins, I need you to put the word back out on the street. We back up, all right?
Oh, y'all back up. He said acknowledge me. It was acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Yeah. No, I need Kobe. I need him to.
I don't know why is that Seth. I don't know why you Seth fought too. Who? The Seth line. I see what's going on here.
Seth Johnson. You know what I'm saying?
The Seth line.
Yeah, I need him. I need them to pick up at the source, but you know what it is. big Seth Rollins. You know what I'm saying? You know what? Hey, we here. Hey, we about to. He's about to get the like. Hey, I don't want you to be surprised when Braun Strowman gets rehired. And then when Triple H signs LeBron James and Bronny James, because Seth is collecting all the bronze in this bitch, baby. We're about to get the Infinity Gauntlet of bronze. Give me another Braun. He's going to put him in there. You know why? Because Seth needs bronze. Because he already has the brain. Bars, nigga. Bars, nigga.
And on that note, people, we are getting out of here. I thank y'all for tuning in. I thank y'all for going through that whole rant about Seth Rollins. You know, it's his time. He's up right now, so I'm not going to hate. But we will catch you all in the next one, which should be Money in the Bank.
Yeah.
And we should have a clear indicator of what the landscape is going to look like on the male side and the women's side. But yeah, we'll catch you guys in the next one. It's been real. Peace out.
Too sweet.